All right, what's up, y'all? AWB, I'm back at it. I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to look at the depositions of the Downey and Moreno uh, in the in Lane Myers case. Um, this is what I looked at that really woke me up, to what was going on with Lane Myers, and seeing him do these depositions. You know, just that's when I really understood what he was about and how smart he actually was. So we're gonna go ahead and get those started. So I'm gonna start off. I think like I started before. It was with Doug Downey. So in this video, I got 2,000 views, and this was when my channel wasn't even where it's at right now. My channel wasn't where it's at right now, and Lane's channel definitely wasn't where it's at right now. And that's when I did this. Uh, that's when I posted this video, and I it just amazed me. I was just, you know, I just felt like his story needed to get out there, and knowing that he was the one doing the depositions is what made me realize like he actually had a lot of legal knowledge and knew how to conduct it, which is a lot, and most people wouldn't be able to do this. So we go ahead and put that in play. And see if a couple people drop in the chat, but and being the fact that it's almost 2 years later it's just wild to me that he still has to, he's still dealing with this. He dealing with false charges and false charges, false arrests. It's just amazing that he's doing all this, and all he was doing was enjoying a day out with his wife at a campground, and it ended up being this, which is amazing to me. Not amazing, but it's a terrible situation. Could you imagine you going on the camping trip with your wife or significant other, and you end up getting arrested for absolutely nothing? It was amazing to me. And not only did he get arrested, he almost got his dog almost got shot, his wife almost got shot, just because Moreno was scared. And it's just a ridiculous situation. So hold on, I'm gonna pull that up. This is it right here. So I'm gonna put the links to these videos in the description. Uh, but yeah, this is one of the depositions, and it was just amazing that this was being conducted. The way that Doug was acting in this deposition it was just insane. He started off lying, and let's get into it. But if y'all haven't already, go follow Lane Myers, and I know his channel is It's not just gonna be on the bio, but it's in the title of this video. If you haven't already, go subscribe to him. It's just amazing, man.
Again, this is Lane Myers' YouTube channel. Needs to be long before. Now we know he's getting into this whole. Again, this is Lane Myers' YouTube channel. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to his channel, like his video, comment, and yeah, this story needs to be shared. It's another. I got some other stories that I want to share as well. Some stories going on with Long Island audit as well. You know, with that corrupt police chief and mayor. But let's get started.
Recording. It is about 1:11 p.m. on Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. We're doing a pretrial interview with Douglas Downing in State of New Mexico versus Lane Myers. Cause number M191MR 2023-44, M191MR 2023-00044. On the video, it is myself, Kent Walkos, with the District Attorney's Office. We have Lane Myers on the recording, on the video, and we also have Douglas Downing, or I assume Douglas Downing. You and I actually haven't met. Are you Douglas Downing?
Yes.
Okay. And that's everything. Go ahead, Mr. Myers. Ask your questions.
Thank you. How you doing, Mr. Downing?
Well.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Douglas Downing.
Do you have a badge number for the Forest Service?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a badge number?
I'm not a law enforcement official.
Who do you work for?
I work for a private company,
And what is the name of it?
Recreation Resource Management of America.
And who's your supervisor at that company?
Laura Blanc.
Do you know Tom Zadek?
I do.
Is he your supervisor?
He's a manager, yes.
Is he your supervisor?
I do. He's the manager, yes.
Thank you, Karen.
Is he your supervisor?
How many times do I have to say yes?
I feel like that's the same question. So maybe, Mr. Downing, can you explain the structure of the company so we can get a clear picture as to who reports to who?
Tom Zadek is a director of the organization of the different localities that the company is located in. So he's a supervisor, yes.
You don't report to him, though?
Not directly.
The fact that Lane was able to do this says a lot within itself. Most of us, I don't think we'd be able to do this. I know I wouldn't, and I don't know. Basically, I'm not a lawyer. That's all I can say. I mean, I know my rights. I know the Constitution, but to conduct the deposition would be, beyond my scope.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll be able to learn, but right now it'll be beyond my scope. And like most people, who else would be able to conduct the deposition like this? And Lane did an excellent job, in my opinion. You can say what you want about Lane. You may not like his personality or whatever, but you have to know that he knows what he's doing and he knows about his rights. You just may not like the way he conducts himself sometimes, but hey, we're free to be able to do that.
Have you spoken to any of your supervisors about this incident?
Yes.
Which ones? Or one?
Laura Blanc.
Excuse me?
Laura Blanc.
Did you speak to Tom Zadek about this incident?
He received the incident report.
But you haven't personally had a conversation with him?
No.
Okay, thank you. What did your supervisor tell you when you spoke to them?
Nothing.
And who does your company that you work for have a contract with?
The U.S. Forest Service.
Does the U.S. Forest Service own Hopewell Lake Campground?
As far as I know.
What?
As far as you know, Hopewell Lake is owned by the Forest Service?
What did I just say?
You didn't answer the question. You didn't say nothing.
Is that something on your end? That noise?
Yeah, you're shaking the foot.
It's
We
the
heard a
rain.
lot of background noise.
That's not from me.
That's the rain.
And this how I knew that was going to be BS from the jump. As soon as he started saying that it's the rain and he was shaking the cup, like I just knew it from here on out it was going to be crazy. So I was just prepared at this point.
He's lying.
Oh.
That is not the rain.
It's the rain, you're saying?
It's the rain.
Who is your contact at the United States Forest Service?
Yo, this is already starting crazy, man. Hold up, man. What's going on? Y'all see this is already starting off to be some BS. That noise was definitely sound like ice in the cup, not rain. And if it was rain wouldn't stop. It wouldn't just stop like that.
I don't have a contact.
Wonder something.
You
Didn't
don't deal directly with the Forest Service in any way?
I do occasionally.
And who do you speak to when you do that?
A lady by the name of Jennifer.
Jennifer,
I have no clue.
does Jennifer Sublet sound familiar?
I'm not sure if that's it or not.
When was the last time you spoke to this lady named Jennifer?
Maybe a month ago,
So approximately the middle of August?
maybe.
And what did you speak about with her?
I couldn't tell you. Occasionally we talk.
Did you speak to Jennifer about the incident on July 1st involving Mr. Myers?
I did.
And what did you tell Miss, we'll just call her Jennifer.
That there was an incident
It
with a
was
person and he was escorted off the property.
Can you give a little bit more
That's
detail?
Stevenson.
The person took over a spot that was already reserved. Actually, I'll back up. That a person came in with a public landowner shirt and cornered me in the bathroom as I was cleaning, demanding answers about water. Why I was working,
In the
and
bathroom. Yeah,
um,
man.
I explained to him that he needed to contact the Forest Service
No way.
and discuss it with them
I don't.
as far as the repairs. And then I had went around cleaning the bathrooms and noticed that person in a campsite that was already reserved. When I went and talked to him and asked him to move and gave him the
Crazy.
option to
Don't
move
make
to
no
different
sense.
sites, and went back an hour later and they were still there and observed beware of dogs.
All right, man. Hold on. Before now, we know he's getting into this whole BS spiel about how he was so scared and whatever. But when he started off with y'all remember, I know y'all was hearing that rattling noise, and then he said it was the rain. Once he said it was the rain, that sounded like ice in a cup. And I don't know. I just don't believe. I can't believe nothing this guy has going on. I can't believe nothing he got going on. He doesn't want to answer questions already because he already knows all of this is some BS built on lies and exaggeration. And you got that man arrested. You got somebody arrested, thrown in jail. They try to put 4 charges on him. This is a serious matter. All because you didn't like the way that he talked to you because he has too much aggression, or he basically he said he's too.
This is a very serious situation, and Lane is still fighting those charges right now, which is it's crazy that almost 2 years later he's still fighting these charges. But he shouldn't be charged with anything because he didn't do anything.
He's too manly to be here. I don't want him over here because he's being too much of a man. Like, bro, come on.
Sign on the vehicle. When I got out of my vehicle, a dog approached me quite rapidly, and I pulled my mace, and the dog was hauled back, and the person came running at me, screaming with his hands folded and fists, yelling at me, telling me to get back, to get off the property. And I asked him to leave the property at that time.
And that's what you told Jennifer?
Yep.
Did you tell her anything else?
That the state police, I contacted state police. They came in. The state police went back to move you out of the property, and there was an incident and a scuffle, and the person went to jail.
Oh,
all right. So moving forward with these questions for timeliness, can you do your best to give complete answers? If you have more to say it. Don't have me ask the same question multiple times to get a further answer. So, did you tell Miss Jennifer that Mr. Myers punched the cop in his face, broke his nose, and it took 2 cops to take Mr. Myers to the ground?
I did not.
Do you know who told Miss Sublet that?
I don't know.
So if I pull up a copy of the incident report that says that you said that, is that not your incident report?
Wow.
I'm sorry?
You heard him.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the incident report that is alleged to have came from you, in which it states that you stated that Mr. Myers punched the cop in his face and broke his nose, and it took 2 cops to take him down.
Wow.
No, I didn't write that.
You didn't write.
You didn't write that?
Nope.
Who wrote it?
But you wrote the rest of the statement?
I don't even know what statement you're talking about, sir.
Now
The one you gave to Jennifer, the one that you just referred to when I asked you, what did you tell Jennifer?
Come on.
I did not give her any written statement.
Just a verbal statement?
I talked to her and I did not say anything about broken noses and bloody noses.
So anything that Jennifer Sublet wrote down was based on a verbal conversation with you? That was her interpretation of what you told her?
It was verbal and nothing more.
So to the best of your knowledge, did Mr. Myers punch Officer Moreno in the face, and did it take 2 cops to take him down?
I don't know. There was 2 police officers that were there, and I was communicated to me that there was a bloody nose and a torn uniform.
What's up, Bridges?
And that was communicated by who?
Officer Lee, I believe his name was.
Did he take a statement from you?
No.
Okay, so that was just a conversation?
Bridges, I like your picture. Yeah.
It was just a conversation.
Okay, now, did you contact anybody at the Forest Service prior to Mr. Myers being arrested?
No.
Did you contact anybody at the Forest Service prior to Mr. Myers being
That's what you're trying to
detained?
seem like. Kate.
No.
Stevenson.
Did you contact anyone at the Forest Service prior to you calling 911?
No.
Traditionally, have you ever had somebody removed from Hopewell Lake
Read it.
campground for
I'm
trespassing
sorry,
before?
Bridges.
No.
Is that right?
Have
Is it
you
Bridges?
been trained on what to do by your company in a situation involving a camper?
Yes.
And what does your training instruct you to do?
To de-escalate, and if it was threatening, to call 911 and have the police come out.
And is that if somebody breaks the law or just in general?
If I'm threatened or feel threatened, or there's a reason to contact the law enforcement, to contact 911 and let them
You
deal
just
with it.
contact 911 because you
Is
scared.
there a reason you did not contact the owner of the property, the United States Forest Service?
They were contacted later on, I'm sure.
No, I'm asking you, sir.
I contacted 911 for direction of my company,
Was that for direction of your company or the United States Forest Service?
or the company's procedures.
Does your company have a special use permit with the United States Forest Service?
As far as I know, you would have to ask them.
Who told you to go to, what was your purpose at Hopewell Lake Campground then?
To provide host services and manage the campground and like,
Who is that? He does look.
Does that mean to make sure everybody's following the rules of the campground?
correct.
Don't play no scary movie.
And who sets the rules of the campground at Hopewell Lake?
I believe it's between the Forest Service and the company
You believe the company that you're referring to as in the Recreation Resource Company?
and the Forest Service.
You believe that the Recreation Resource Management private company has input on the laws and regulations at Hopewell Lake Campground?
Those are, you would have to ask Recreation Resource.
Okay, that's right now I'm asking Douglas Downey.
Douglas Downey does not know the answer to that question.
Okay, do you know which agency is responsible for enforcing the potential violations of the rules at Hopewell Lake Campground?
Show your face, Doug.
It would be the police, 911 if I called them, the sheriff, the law enforcement,
Look at the screen.
Forest Service,
Yeah.
law enforcement, Forest
Show your
Service,
face, Doug.
Recreation Resource Management,
They're not law enforcement, are they?
depending on what the rules are.
Okay, so the rules that I'm referring to are the rules that are posted on the sign at Hopewell Lake Campground. Do you need me to pull up a picture of them?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Does this look familiar to you?
I can't see it.
It wasn't staying in focus. That's why we couldn't see it.
It looks like something,
Am I too close or too far?
I can't see it.
It says, welcome to your national forest. As a visitor to the national forest, you must follow the rules to protect the forest and the natural environment and to ensure your health and safety. So please follow these rules, okay? So I'll work on getting that.
Yeah, man. I just couldn't believe that they treated him like this when he did nothing wrong. So yeah, I'm glad his channel grew. I'm glad it was more attention brought to his story because it needs to get out there. You know, it was just terrible.
Onto the big screen here, but this is the rules at Hopewell Lake Campground posted on the sign.
Okay, then if it's the Forest Service that posted it, then they would post that.
So the Forest Service, so would you agree that the Forest Service sets the rules at Hopewell Lake Campground?
For that portion of it, yes.
Which portion?
The portion you're referring to,
I'm referring to the rules at Hopewell Lake Campground.
correct. And there's other rules that go along with it too, as the manager.
There's other rules that go along with what the picture I showed you, or something else are you referring to?
Pictures on the board for quiet time.
That's all in
Pets
that
on a
picture.
leash.
That's all in that
Pets
picture.
have to be on. Checkout
That's
time is one.
According to the
So,
sign,
you
that's
know,
too much.
okay, if it's there, it's there.
Well, that's what I'm asking you if you're aware of it being there.
I'm aware of the regulations that I just stated.
Just those or all the rules that apply to Hopewell Lake Campground?
All the ones that I know of, yes.
Is it your responsibility to enforce the rules at Hopewell Lake Campground?
Did you freeze, Mr. Downey? Are you there? He looks frozen on my end.
Oh.
There he is.
Oh, wait, are you back, Mr. Downey?
Okay,
Did you hear the question, sir?
I didn't.
Is it your responsibility to enforce all the rules at Hopewell Lake Campground?
All the ones that I do know of that are posted by the company, yes.
You know,
So you're referring to rules that are posted by your company? Because that's not what I'm referring. I posted up a picture of the sign at Hopewell Lake Campground that has all the rules of the campground that are set by the National Forest, the U.S. Forest Service. So I'm asking you, is it your responsibility to ensure that those rules are followed at Hopewell Lake Campground?
No,
Whose responsibility is that?
it's the Forest Service.
wow. There you go.
Do you believe Mr. Myers was in violation of any of those rules at Hopewell Lake Campground posted on that sign?
Yes,
Did you contact the Forest Service and let them know that Mr. Myers was in violation of those rules on that sign?
no, not immediately.
Wow.
When did you contact them?
We've already gone through that the next day.
Wow. So
Did you believe, what was the reason you had that you felt you didn't need to contact them prior?
I contacted my supervisor, who in turn contacted the Forest Service.
prior to Mr. Myers being arrested?
I don't know if it was prior to that or after that they did.
Well, please only make statements that you can testify to actual knowledge of.
I gave you my answer. I don't know. I talked to my supervisor and they do that.
So you spoke to your supervisor, but you're unable to confirm, like you're not able to give a solid answer on whether your supervisor contacted the Forest Service prior to.
Let's run around in circles here.
It's not circle.
I contacted my supervisor who would contact Forest Service. When they did it, I don't know.
So say that. That's it.
So to the best of your knowledge, you're not aware of Forest Service being contacted by you or your supervisor prior to you calling 911?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I called 911. I notified my supervisor and called 911.
Because you believe Mr. Myers was in violation of campground rules?
Because he threatened me.
Because he threatened you.
Mr. Myers threatened you?
Yes.
So we'll get to that next. Which campground rules did Mr. Myers violate prior to you calling 911?
You threatened me and your dog attacked me.
Did he violate before?
That was cause to contact 911. And with your attitude and your aggressiveness, it was a threat to me. So I was not going to deal with it. So I contacted law enforcement.
What?
Can you tell me which rule of Hopewell Lake Campground you're alleging Mr. Myers had broken?
I don't know if there's a rule there for that.
Wow.
So you don't know if there's a rule, but you know Mr. Myers broke it?
There you go.
As I stated, you threatened me and your dog approached me, come running at me.
Mr. Downey, all due respect, if a judge was here right now, he wouldn't allow this. I'm going to ask you.
He wouldn't allow what you're doing. He wouldn't allow what you're doing, Mr. Myers. You're asking the same thing again and again and again.
What?
And we would
He's not allowed to say he doesn't know.
You have not. You just don't like his
He's not
answer.
a court of law. He cannot plead the fifth.
He said he doesn't know, and he answered your.
It was just so unbelievable to me how Doug was acting in this deposition. And the fact that Kent was trying to, I don't know what Kent was trying to do, but the fact that he was pretty much backing the foolishness was insane to me.
Your other questions. Move on and ask another question.
He's not answering.
All right, so just to summarize then,
So Lane would ask the question and Doug would dance around and not answer the question. And then Lane would just ask the question again. And then Kent said, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't ask the same question." Well, he wouldn't have to if he just would answer the question.
Mr. Walquist, you're saying that his answer to the question of what rules, posted rules, did Mr. Myers violate? You're saying that an acceptable answer.
Hold on, y'all. Before we continue to get into this, I don't like the way Kent interjected right there and saying, "Oh, he's answering the same question over and over again." He's having to reword the same question to see if he can actually get an answer for it. Because we obviously see that Doug doesn't want to answer the question. It was a very simple question. Which rule did I break that made you call the police? What rule was that I broke that made you call the police? Oh, I felt threatened and your dog tried to bite me. What? Bro, no. No, it's not gonna work. So then Lane decides, okay, let me try to ask this question differently to see if I can actually get an answer. Kent jumps in there. Well, he already answered the question, and you keep answering the same question over and over again. Well, you got to do that if somebody doesn't answer the question the first time. And the answer that you're saying that he gave wasn't really an answer. It was more so a response. I think it's a difference between a response and an answer. But let's get back into it. Or what y'all think? Because I don't think I'm tripping.
Answer is, I don't know.
He has answered your question. Let's move on.
Okay.
Wow. Doug's so happy Kent saved him. He's so happy.
Have you spoken to anyone at the Forest Service since Mr. Myers was arrested, other than
Kent
Miss
is
Jennifer?
No.
Has your supervisor notified you of what to do moving forward in a similar situation?
It would be the same situation. I would call 911.
Do you have the authority to have somebody trespass from National Forest land?
I do.
Under what authority?
Under the special use permit.
Can you provide something that shows that?
I can't.
Can you refer to it in the code of the CFR, Title 36? Where can you
You'll
point me to that?
need to contact Recreation Resource for that answer.
Who does?
You.
No, I'm asking you to give the answer because you
This was so unbelievable.
you believe you acted under that authority.
I do not have an answer for you. Let's move on.
What? Look, yeah.
How far did you run when Mr. Myers' dog was chasing you?
I like that.
I didn't run because he came running at me.
Who did?
The dog.
He just stood there.
The dog came running at you?
Yes. It was not on a leash.
Are they required to be on a leash?
Yes, it's posted on the same board that you took the picture of the rules.
Oh, now you know.
You should mention that. Let's bring that back up then, and we'll go to the section about pets.
Hmm.
Because a second ago you didn't know the rules, but now you know them. So we're gonna pull them up just for clarity.
Exactly. Come on, man. Stop playing these games, man.
There's a red picture. There's a red notice on the board that says pets must be on a leash.
Pets and animals. Pets are not allowed in swimming areas. Saddle, pack, or trap animals are allowed only in authorized areas. Pets must always be restrained. Where does it say pets must be on a leash?
Restrained is on a leash.
Crazy.
That's your testimony?
I think that's very clear. Being restrained would be on a leash. You cannot run it. It cannot be running loose.
So that's what you're saying. Okay.
It's your belief that in the national forest, a dog must be on a leash?
In the campground, yes.
And it is your belief based on something you read somewhere?
It's posted on the board.
That pets must be restrained. And for the purpose of this discussion, you're using the word restrained as on a leash?
That would be correct.
So Mr. Myers' dog came at you and you did not run?
I did not. I pulled my mace and was going to spray him if he got close enough to bite me.
But
And where were you standing when this took place?
In campground 21.
And what was your reason for being in campsite 21?
To advise the person that was there that they needed to move, who I'd already communicated to them probably an hour earlier that they needed to move and gave them options, and they still had not moved.
So you prior to the interaction involving you pulling out your mace, you had already informed Mr. Myers that he needed to move.
Correct.
And your intention with coming back a second time was to do what?
To ask them to move again.
Had you called 911 at that point?
No.
When was the first time you felt threatened by Mr. Myers?
When he came running at me with his arms up above his head and his hands turned into fists, yelling at me, cussing at me, being very vulgar at me.
You're so scary, man.
That's when I felt threatened.
So at no point prior to that,
That man was not.
not when he talked to you about the water being broken, not the first time when you informed him to move, during any of those conversations, you did not feel threatened.
No, this is Boston. This is different.
Was Mr. Myers' dogs on a leash?
Moreno.
Were Mr. Myers' dogs hooked to the bumper of his truck?
No.
If I show you a video right now, would you still say the same thing?
Yes.
Oh, oh,
Okay, so you felt threatened the second time. So this would be the third interaction with Mr. Myers now.
That was the second.
It's the third. Are you changing your testimony because you testified initially about?
What is the third?
You tell
What
us.
is
You tell us.
You tell me.
I'm going by your testimony at the beginning of this video.
That was the second interaction with your dogs and you. That was the second interaction. That's
What
when I
about-
contacted
What
911.
about the first interaction? So what was the first interaction?
When I asked you to move, you had already moved into a site that was reserved, and I asked you to move the first time.
10 minutes ago, did you testify that our first?
And it's crazy because Lane was so on point in his depositions. It's amazing to me, you know. And once I start seeing this, I'm like, his story needs to get out there. His channel needs to grow because more of us need to see this type of stuff.
First interaction involved me asking you about the water in the bathroom?
No, that's not it.
You didn't just testify to that.
I said the first time that I talked to you was at the bathroom. The next time was when you were in the campsite and I asked you to move and gave you options.
Yeah.
And then I came back around again, which would be the second time, and
Wouldn't that
asked
be
you.
the third, sir?
Okay, it's the third time. I'm sorry. You're right. It's the third time.
wow.
I'm just, sir, there's nothing to get hostile. I'm just going by your testimony. Initially,
He
you
was
said it
explaining
the
his
second.
answer. He was explaining his testimony, and then you interrupted him.
It's the third
Ask the
time.
question and let him answer.
Ricky
Ask the
can't.
question and let him answer.
Go ahead. It's the third time. I'll let you go. Go. Third time.
I'll let you go.
So that was the third time.
Look, you
So
don't.
the
even
third
know.
time you spoke to Mr. Myers, you felt threatened.
Yep.
In which manner did you feel threatened?
I felt like you were going to punch me or attack me, and I was preparing for that.
Did Mr. Myers punch you?
This man was not going to punch you.
No, because I stood my ground.
Did Mr. Myers
Yeah.
attack?
You know, because it's still. Bro.
No,
Did Mr. Myers make physical contact with you in any way?
No.
Did Mr. Myers throw anything at you?
no,
Did Mr. Myers pull out any weapons?
no.
Did Mr. Myers come towards you aggressively?
Very aggressively,
How close did Mr. Myers get to you?
within an arm's reach.
My arms are almost 4 foot long. So do you want to go by my arms?
You can go with your arms. Fine.
So Mr. Myers came up with the approximate. Mr. Myers aggressively, as he testified, quickly and rapidly came towards you, but then stopped approximately 4 feet short of you. Is that correct?
Correct.
Get out.
Is somebody being 4 feet away from you a threat?
Yes, when they're in that manner, yes.
Which manner?
Aggressively, hands clenched, fist clenched, cussing, being vulgar. That's threatening.
By your definition?
Yeah, by my definition.
Do you know the legal definition of threatening?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Come on, Mr. Walquist. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't have a sarcastic witness and then try to hold me down for something.
It's
So
not-
we can,
You're not
so
saying that.
you can't give sarcastic answers.
Let's see what Kent.
If it's an answer, ask your question, and he will answer it.
Look
And I
at
did.
Kent, man.
He
Look
said,
at
I'm
Kent.
sure you'll tell me.
The question was, Mr. Downey, do you know the legal definition of threatening?
I don't.
Why you
There,
have to say
ask
that,
your next question.
Thank you.
bro? Kent, man. Oh, you see Kent on some BS, man.
What specific threat did Mr. Myers make towards you that made you feel threatened? Because you gave about 7 things.
You know, as y'all can see, Kent was obviously on some BS, and I just don't. This whole situation is just terrible. But Lane was still able to conduct himself well in this situation. I just couldn't believe it.
Things.
Listen, man.
I think we lost you again, Mr. Downey. Are you frozen?
No, he ain't frozen, man. He doing this on purpose.
Let's hope that kicks back in a moment.
Yeah,
No
whatever.
worries. He's obviously getting caught lying and he knows it, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, yeah, man. He on some BS. And I don't like the way Kent handling that, man.
There you go.
All right, you're back.
Yeah, show your face.
Did you hear the last
Show your
question?
face, Kent. I mean, Doug.
I didn't.
You could just let
Did anyone else witness Mr. Myers threaten you?
Not to my knowledge.
Did you tell the 911 dispatcher that Mr. Myers' dogs chased you?
I said yes. I said that they chased to me, came at me, is what I told them.
Do you remember what you told the 911 operator?
yes or no.
In total, no.
Do you have any background? Do you have any background in the field, in the medical field?
Yes or no.
In what way?
Have you received any formal training in the field of medicine?
Yes,
Which type?
I was an EMT.
Have you received any training or formal education or certification around mental health or mental or behavior?
No, can't say I have.
Have you taken any psychology classes?
Can't say I have.
What about psychiatry?
I'm not a psychiatrist. No,
Have you ever evaluated anybody for mental health?
I have no reason to do that.
So would it be your testimony that you have no experience evaluating an individual for mental health?
I have no reason to do that. I'm not in the medical field.
Did you refer to Mr. Myers as crazy?
I did not. I said he was unstable.
Did you refer to Mr. Myers as
Crazy.
wearing a public landowner shirt?
I did, just like you're wearing it now.
And what does a public landowner shirt mean to you?
I have no clue.
He's nervous.
Do you believe that wearing a public landowner shirt is a crime?
He's nervous and can't face questions.
There's no reason to wear any.
And it's crazy because Lane actually bought this public land owner shirt from the campsite. He bought this shirt there, and Lane tried to make it seem like he tried to make it seem like something was off about Lane just because he got this shirt on. But he got the shirt from the campsite.
Any t-shirt is a crime.
Did you call 911 and the first thing you said was he's wearing a public landowner shirt?
I don't recall.
Do you have any reason why you would refer to Mr. Myers' shirt in this incident?
I don't know.
You do
Do
know.
you believe you referred to Mr. Myers' shirt in this incident?
I don't recall.
Now you don't recall. You
We're
just
gonna pull it up here. We're gonna listen to the 911 call.
steady lying.
So he said the prosecutor was texting. He was texting Doug and Moreno during the deposition, coaching the witnesses. Yeah. Kent definitely seemed like he was on their side. He didn't seem non-biased at all because nothing about what he was like, even when Lane would just ask Doug the question and Doug wouldn't answer the question. So Lane asked the question again, and then Kent tried to make it seem like, oh, why you keep asking him that? Like, what do you mean? If he would just answer, then I'll move to the next question. This whole situation, it's so much BS about this. That's why I wanted to get this story out there, because it was so much BS going on. It was so much. It was so crazy. And it's still crazy, as you can see. That's why I'm glad Lane's channel grew so much, because this story definitely needs more attention, because it was insane.
Steady lying.
That way you have a fresh memory of everything.
I can't believe Kent though, man. He
His dog come after me. We've got threatened me. And
I'm gonna rewind. There we go. Can you hear that?
person here in the park that's being very aggressive. And
Mr. Downey, can you hear that? What I hear is I can hear Mr. Downey, but I cannot hear the dispatcher.
got beware dog signs on it.
Okay, let me. Mr. Downey, can you hear the 911 call?
Parts of it.
Here we go.
See if I can get a unit up here. I've got
Exactly.
a person here in the park that's being very aggressive and says he's a public landowner. And it came after me and I pulled my spray out and the guy got all upset. And I don't want him in the park.
That was his reasoning. He doesn't want
Is it possible to get a unit up here to have them convince the guy?
Yeah, do you know what his name is?
to convince him.
I don't want to have any more contact with him.
Oh man, bro, I hate scary people like that, man. Bro, you gotta be so scary.
Okay, and like what campsite or where are you located in the lake?
I'm sorry.
What campsite or where is it that you're
I love
located in
that
the
like
lake?
that. I don't like when people be scary like that. Come on.
I'm at campsite 4.
Can you call the police on people?
In Hopewell Lake.
Okay.
And that person is currently
He didn't do nothing to you.
spot 18. I'm sorry.
So scary for no reason. Lane didn't do anything to him. He just scared the Lane because what I think Lane was just too manly for Doug. Like that's what you don't like about him.
Okay, is he in like a camper trailer? Is he in a tent?
He's in a pickup truck. Pickup truck with a kid.
Okay, do you know what kind of truck it is?
It's a red Chevy. The camper showing.
Okay, what's the phone number for you?
I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I just don't need any more interaction with them. It's pretty unsafe.
Okay, what's the phone number for you?
806.
You know, Lane did a amazing job for this deposition. The fact that he was able to do it that's how I knew how intelligent he was, just because of the way he was able to conduct himself in this situation.
We don't need to go there. Okay, so now were you able to hear that, Mr. Downey?
Yeah, it seems pretty clear, just like I've said before.
That ain't what you said.
That you were able to hear it?
I heard it.
When you said that Mr. Myers' dogs chased you, what exactly do you mean by that? If you said that you stood your ground,
They came at me.
they walked towards you,
They ran towards me.
And then stopped.
and what led you to believe that you were under attack and being chased?
When a dog comes at you aggressive like that, I felt threatened and I pulled my mace.
Okay, can you describe the method through which the dog attacked you?
It did not bite me. It ran towards me, and I felt like he was going to bite me. I've been bitten by dogs before in the same manner.
Have you been bitten by this dog before?
Shoot, bro.
Has this dog came towards you before?
I don't know that dog.
So you've been bit. Did you observe a beware dog sign prior to you walking into the campsite?
I did.
And you chose to walk into the campsite anyways?
What?
I did. Beware dog sign should not be posted in the campground.
And why is that?
I should be able to have access to the campground to clean and
You do have that.
everything as
And you
time goes on.
beware.
So do you believe that a beware dog sign means that the dog is dangerous?
It could be.
Could be or is?
Yeah, so here the Doug pulled mace and Moreno pulled the gun. If you are a pet owner, this would piss you off on both sides. The fact that people just pulling weapons on your animals is crazy for no reason. And you have a beware dog sign. You have signs letting people know to stay back, and you still approach for no reason. Like it's insane how this went down.
It is.
Are you aware of the legal requirement to have a beware dog sign for liability if you have a dog?
I'm not.
No, yeah.
So let's say that
not
the dog, there was a beware dog sign and you walked in there and the dog bit you, right?
Okay.
You had you wouldn't have known there was a dog.
Okay.
So do you typically walk past beware dog signs with dogs you have never met before?
I look at them and look around. I did not even see a dog in the campground at the time.
But you saw the sign that said beware dog.
Couldn't miss it.
So you got out of your vehicle, saw a beware dog sign, could not confirm it or deny if you even saw a dog, and chose to enter the campsite and walk past the beware dog sign anyways?
I didn't walk past the sign. The truck was backed into the back of the campsite.
You didn't. Did you enter the campsite?
I did, from the front.
in plain view of the beware dog sign?
The beware dog sign was in the back where the truck was parked.
When you say in the back, do you mean, are you referring to the location of the sign or the truck?
That's so accurate.
The truck and the sign
Where was the sign located in the truck?
on the windshield of the truck,
Which windshield?
the front windshield.
And the truck was back then, you just stated?
Yep.
So that would put the beware dog sign directly in your view as you walked into the campsite.
It was 30 feet back from the front of the campsite. So yes,
It was 30 feet back?
yes.
What's the biggest camper you're allowed to park in that site?
I couldn't tell you right off the bat, but probably a 26, 27 footer, 30 footer.
What is the rule?
You don't
I'm
rule.
not following you.
What you mean? Just
There's a rule
Rule.
of what size can be in there. And you enforce the rules. I'm asking you, what is the legal size for a camper in that parking spot that you just claimed was over 30 foot long?
A 30-foot camper can go in there.
My truck is 23 foot long.
Okay.
Is there a question?
What's the question?
Was my truck more than 7 feet in the site?
Oh, yes, it was long ways in the back. Probably
The
20
back.
feet.
Was the truck parked on designated driveway?
No,
Where was it parked?
that's a lot.
it was parked off to the side.
Of
It was
what?
parked.
It was what?
It was parked at an angle
In the site?
in the site,
On the gravel?
between the gravel and the picnic table.
Between the gravel and the picnic table. So you're trying to say that the truck was not parked on the gravel, it was parked next to it, between the picnic table that was at the back of the site?
On the side of the site, yes.
So it's your testimony the truck was approximately 30 feet back into the site?
Correct.
And approximately how far did you walk into the site?
Maybe 10, 15 feet.
So do you, let me clarify something and go back for 1 second. When you say the truck was 30 feet in there, are you referring to the back of the truck or the front of the truck?
The truck was about 30 feet in. I mean, I can't say it's the front, the back, or what. It was in about 30 feet.
So you don't know nothing.
The truck, the front, I'm asking you a serious question here, and you referred to distance, so you opened the door for this. You're saying that the truck was backed in and it was 30 feet from the entrance to the site. So I'm asking you, was the front of the truck 30 feet from the entrance or the back of the truck?
The front of the truck was 30 feet in.
So so if the truck were 23 feet long, approximately 53 feet in was the rear.
Please.
Sure.
Please don't let that ever leave me.
So you walked approximately 15 feet into the site.
Yes,
And how far were you from the truck at this time?
maybe 20 feet. I don't know.
So you walked in 15 and the truck was still 20, but the truck was only 30, because that would be more than 30.
Okay, so the truck was 15 feet in from me after I walked in 15 feet.
Okay.
So-
So, it was about 30 feet. So you're approximately standing about 15 feet away from this truck that said beware dog. And then what happened?
The dog ran at me and I pulled my mace.
Which dog?
It was a black dog. Or I should say a dark colored dog.
No,
Let's go.
he quit. No, it was a black dog.
Come here.
A big black dog.
Was it this dog?
That is-
It may have been.
That's a good looking dog.
Nelly, come. Nelly, come.
That dog look healthy.
Well, I guess my other dog won't be on camera. So it could have been that dog, but you don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure. I just know a dog had come running at me.
Exactly.
Did the dog attack you or come running at you?
It come running at me as if it was going to attack me.
Did it actually attack you?
No,
Did you tell the 911 dispatcher as well as Officer Moreno twice that my dog attacked you?
no, that it ran at me like it was going to attack, and I pulled my mace and was going to spray him, and he stopped when you called him back.
When I restrained him.
You didn't restrain him.
So I called him and he came back to me?
That's restraining.
Correct.
Okay. So he was under command and control
I don't know. He stopped running towards me.
when his owner gave him that command?
Yes.
Now, I just asked you if you told either the 911 dispatch, Officer Moreno, or during this video we've recorded so far, did you say that my dog attacked you?
Yeah, here we go in circles again. He approached me as if he was going to attack me and charging at me as if he was attacking. That is the reference that was used.
Do you feel that there's a difference between a dog attacking someone and a dog not attacking someone?
No, when they run after you, run towards you in an aggressive manner, that is potentially attacking.
I didn't ask about potentially. Okay, we're not here for potentials. We're here to.
That
You
is
testified-
attacking. To me, that is attacking.
No, that's
So just to clarify, the 3 times you told, the 1 time you told the 911 and the 2 times you told Officer Moreno, as well as the 1 time you stated on here that my dog attacked you, you don't mean by the legal definition or the Webster's dictionary definition, you mean by Doug Downey's definition.
If I feel like I'm being attacked, that's being attacked. Yes.
Are you stating that as it's a law or is that just a feeling?
He just explained that. He's answered it. You've asked.
Y'all couldn't believe this. This was so amazing to me. I'm so glad his channel blew up and he's getting the backing that he deserved, honestly.
Asked this. I want to say 3 times in chunks, 3 or 4 times in each chunk, and
That's
so
how
we're
you
getting to a
catch
dozen times you've asked this
witnesses.
question.
That's how you catch witnesses in a lie.
Yeah.
Ask your next question.
I'm getting to it.
Kent, boy. Oh,
I'm not
dirty Kent.
required. Trust me. We can keep it civil.
Oh, dirty Kent, man.
For the purposes of calling 911,
Exactly.
do you believe that my dog attacked you in a manner
Yeah, Kent was definitely dirty in this situation. I just couldn't believe him.
that was unlawful?
It was off a leash and should have been on a leash. And when it came at me, if I did not know if it would bite me, if it got to me or not.
Are you aware of the exceptions to CFR 236?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
The rule that I quote about the dog being restrained. Are you aware of the exceptions to that rule?
No,
Are you aware that service animals are not required to be on leash or restrained?
No.
Did you verify if Mr. Myers' dog was a service animal?
No.
Do you have any injuries from Mr. Myers' dog attacking you?
no,
There's nothing you can point to or show us or have documented?
I've already said probably 5 or 6 times I was not bit or hurt by the dog.
Okay. We're gonna pull up this video of you talking to Officer Moreno here. We're gonna figure out what you mean by the dog attacked me.
Doug, it's not funny. It's not funny. He's not the one tripping. You are. That's the thing. They think the other person is one. No.
Good, and you.
Doug, that's you tripping.
Mr. Downey, have you ever met Officer Moreno prior to July 1st?
No.
So when you said friend, that was just a figure of speech?
Yes.
Now I'm gonna play the video.
He came in and went into a site that was already occupied, and I had to ask him about it. And I went back to see what was going on, got out of my truck and started around, and his dog come running at me, and I pulled my mace, and he came out and jumped in my face, told me to get the fuck off his property. He's got a shirt of public landowner.
Yeah.
He's a little psycho. And he finally moved to a different site, but I asked him to just leave because his aggression, I can't deal with that.
Get ready.
Deal with that. Yeah, Doug.
Mr. Downey, so you testified that you did not call 911 until after the interaction which required you to pull your pepper spray. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're the manager.
And it's your testimony that you did not feel threatened prior to that moment.
Correct.
And your statement on that, what you just said on that camera, is that Mr. Myers came into a site that was reserved, and you asked him to move to a different site. When you asked Mr. Myers to move to a different site the first time, approximately how long between the time you asked Mr. Myers that until he actually moved to the other site?
Probably an hour or more.
What did Mr. Myers tell you on his second interaction when you came and told him he needed to move to a different site?
I'm sorry?
When you came to the campsite, the second interaction, the first one at the campsite, what did you tell Mr. Myers?
That the site was already occupied and you needed to move. And there were several other sites that you could move to.
And what did Mr. Myers say in response?
Your girlfriend was gone walking and you would take care of it after she got back.
Okay.
When you arrived at the campsite the second time, was my wife there? Mr. Myers' wife there?
I don't recall. There was somebody else in the woods, in the trees. I don't know who it was at that point.
So you did not have a conversation with Miss Hendricks at that moment?
No.
You didn't refer to her as starting crying?
No.
Boy. Doug is boy. Dirty Doug, man. Dirty Doug.
That was that fight where she ran up to the road.
Mr. Downey.
His girlfriend started crying. Well, I can stay because that wasn't part of that.
Y'all, you know, I don't ever claim to be the best person in the world, you know, but you know, it's a different level of you just lie, you just lying all the time. Like, that's crazy. And for no reason. Like, for no reason. And then not only do you lie, but you use your lies to almost tear apart somebody else's life. This man got 4 charges based on lies and feelings, lies, exaggeration, and feelings. He got 4 charges. So it starts with him and ends with Moreno. And Moreno comes and does the same thing. Lie, exaggerate. It's terrible, man. It's terrible.
That's between you and
Yeah.
You know, but he needs to leave.
What's he wearing?
He's wearing a t-shirt that says.
So on your second interaction, the first trip to the campsite, when you told Mr. Myers it was occupied, you do not recall having a conversation with Miss Hendricks?
No.
Did you and Miss Hendricks ever have a conversation about the tag on the post?
No. I showed it to you.
Do you believe that Mrs. Hendricks would testify that?
I don't know.
Do you believe that the people in the campsite next door would testify that?
I don't know.
Have you talked to the people in the campsite next door?
No.
So it's your testimony that when you came to the site and pulled the pepper spray, you did not see Miss Hendricks.
No, I didn't say that. I said there was somebody in the tree lines. I don't know who it was.
Was it the same person that was crying and you said, well, that's on you, you have to leave, you can talk to him?
I don't know if that was the same person or not.
Really?
That was up at site 18 where she ran up to me on the side of the road.
And said,
If that's
so,
the lady you're referring to.
no, I'm referring to campsite, the original one. Which one was reserved? 21, right?
I never talked to the lady at the site that was reserved. I never talked to a lady there.
Where did the dogs come from?
You had them there. I don't know.
Did I have them there or you do not know?
You must have had them there because they were there with you.
Did you interact with any dogs on the first time you came to speak to Mr. Myers and told him he needed to leave?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did Mr. Myers indicate that his wife was hiking with his dogs and it would take some time for him to get moved?
No, I answered that you said she was gone hiking and you would take care of it when she got back.
Okay. And your testimony is that it was approximately an hour from the time that this conversation we're referring to took place and Mr. Myers moved to site 18.
I want
It
everybody.
was probably longer than that because it was about an hour by the time I went back and checked on you when your dog came running at me and you came running at me threatening.
Approximately how long after this interaction that you just alleged occurred did Mr. Myers move to the other site?
Probably 15, 20 minutes. I don't know, 30 minutes.
So approximately 15 to 30 minutes after you told him the second time.
Correct.
The second time, did you tell him to move or tell him to leave?
I asked you to leave after you threatened me.
So the second time you didn't tell him to move, you told him to leave.
I asked you if you would leave. Yes.
We're gonna have to discuss it.
And that was and during this time, you did not observe Miss Hendricks at all.
I don't recall.
You don't recall standing there and talking to her about the ticket on the thing and her pulling out the ticket that was on the post when we pulled in.
I don't.
Do you keep a record of everybody that stays at Hopewell Lake?
There is.
So there's a record of the person who reserved the site that
Right.
Mr. Myers had to move for?
Yep.
Is it possible that when Mr. Myers arrived at Hopewell Lake Campground, that the individual had not placed his tag on the post yet?
Oh, I
I
think
don't know. I don't think so.
You don't know or you don't think so?
We'll address.
I would have placed it there,
You would have placed what there?
the tag.
So you're saying there's no possible way that while Mr. Myers and Miss Hendricks were unloading their truck and setting up their tent at Site 21, a gentleman in a blue Chevy truck arrived and came there and talked to us and put his tag on the post and said he just reserved this while we were setting up.
That would have been the customer that reserved the site.
So it's possible the customer put the tag on the post.
He did.
Did you just testify that you put it on the post?
Normally, I do put him on the post.
I'm not asking about normally, sir. I'm asking you.
Yes,
Did
I
you
did say that, but I did. As I recall, I filled out the paperwork and gave him his tag, and he went and put it on there.
So you did not put the tag on there yourself.
I did not.
So you cannot testify exactly when that tag was placed in relation to Mr. Myers and Miss Hendricks arriving at the site.
I can't.
I'll make sure that's not gonna
Would
happen.
you allow the possibility that
That's
Miss
not gonna
Hendricks
happen
and Mr. Myers spoke to the gentleman in the blue Chevy truck who came to put the tag on there?
I don't know.
Have you spoke to this gentleman since?
Hold on, so I just want to stop it real quick. So, everybody's welcome to speak freely in the chat because, we represent the First Amendment. But if you're going to be in the chat, you need to make sure that you're not directly, I don't want to necessarily say offending somebody, but if it's like if you're being combative with somebody in the chat, that's not what we do here. We're focused on what's going on, in the video. Anything other than that, personal feelings about things that don't have anything to do with what's going on, we're not having that here. You're welcome, like I said, you're welcome to say what you want. I like to keep it free, but at the same time, we have to be respectful. I believe in being respectful. So if anyone is feeling like they're being disrespected or somebody's being maybe condescending or something towards them, make sure you get my attention and bring it to my attention. You can do it at the time that it's happening, and we'll address it right then and there. Sorry, y'all.
So
Get that out the way.
So you won't disagree with the possibility that Mr. Myers and Miss Hendricks arrived at Hopewell Lake Campsite 21 and the post was empty.
What's up, Scarecrow?
I don't know.
It's all good, Karen.
Did you tell Mr. Myers when you arrived? Did you walk over to the post and pull the tag off and say, didn't you see the tag?
I showed you the tag. Yes.
But you did not place the tag. Is that correct?
Correct.
So to the best of your knowledge, Mr. Myers and the gentleman who reserved the site could have already spoken and determined that Mr. Myers was in no rush to move.
I don't know.
Is it possible that the gentleman was fishing at the lake?
I don't know.
Did the gentleman tell you he was fishing at the lake?
He said he was going to go down and fish and then get his trailer.
So is it possible that prior to you arriving to tell Mr. Myers he had to move, that him and this gentleman had a conversation and already could have possibly worked out the fact that he was in a reserve site and he was moving?
I don't know.
Did you ask?
No, nothing.
I didn't.
Here we go.
Did you just come up and say you have to move?
I came up and explained that it was reserved, that it was already
What did Mr.
occupied.
Myers say? And what did Mr. Myers say in response?
He didn't.
Oh
You
yeah.
didn't say anything.
Oh yeah.
He asked where else he could go, and I gave him other options to move to.
Is that what you told Officer Moreno?
I didn't.
What did you tell Officer Moreno?
You want him?
That you were in an occupied site, and I asked you to move.
And then I started saying, get the fuck out of here, First Amendment, all this, right?
Yep.
But you just said that I didn't say anything except where can I move to?
Ow. Ouch.
Are you
Ouch.
asking a question or making a statement?
Ouch.
trying to
Very
clarify.
uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Ow.
What are you trying to clarify? Ask the question.
No, you know what's going on. Sit up straight.
I'm trying to clarify. If it's possible,
Straight. What you mean?
you know what?
Ooh.
Let me just play it. So, because the question revolved around, did you tell Officer Moreno that I said, okay, where do I need to move to and moved and nothing else? Or did you tell Officer Moreno that I started cussing at you?
The situation started from when your dog ran and you came running at me with your hands clenched, cussing at
Talking
me.
about the interaction prior to that, sir. Interaction prior to that.
Yeah, we
You asked the question what I told Officer Moreno, and I'm telling you.
About the first interaction at the campsite.
yeah.
Not just what did you tell Officer Moreno.
Yeah.
Specifically, what did you tell Moreno when he asked you, what did Mr. Myers say when you told him he had to move?
Yeah. How much more clear you want it? Oh man.
I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't.
Here, we're gonna play it for you.
Well, look how tight his lips is, man. You know he. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. You out of here, Doug? Doug, get out of here, man.
And I just
Oh my goodness.
he hasn't paid them.
Jeez, Doug.
And I asked him, I said, you need to leave. Because with your aggression, it's not going to work out here. Okay.
That's not what you said to
His
us.
girlfriend started crying. Well, I can stay because that wasn't part of that. That's between you.
I didn't know you were supporting this, man.
But he needs to leave.
What was he wearing?
He's wearing
I didn't even think
t-shirt
about
that
this.
says public landowner and shorts.
Okay.
He's at site 18.
So let me just reiterate what you told me. So he was staying at another area that was already reserved to someone. You asked him to leave. He got mad about that. What did he tell you?
He said, it's not reserved. And I said, yes, it is. And I showed him the tag. The guy came in this morning, was parked there. I checked him in, and it shows he's there from today till the 6th. And he wasn't happy about that. And,
Just look carried away.
And then he moved.
well, he hadn't moved. And I went back around probably 45 minutes later, and nothing had changed. And I parked. And when I got out of my vehicle, you can see this is the vehicle right here. This is where he went into the site, and he's got a beware of dog sign right on the front of the windshield. So when that dog started at me,
How big is the dog?
it's a black lab pit mix.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I figured it's some.
And then he come out and jumped in my face.
What did he tell you?
I know you
It
got to
was
relax.
off his property. I didn't have no right there. And I just,
Did he threaten you?
well, yeah, I take that.
Okay.
Especially when he's sitting there.
So he was clenched his fist and came up to your face. How close was he? About arm's length.
No. This is his face.
So yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It's not even close, bro.
I talked to the manager and stuff. They said he needs to go. So,
Okay. I'll go tell him he needs to leave. He's
Yes.
not wanted or he's not allowed to be here. So
You
you want
care to
manager.
listen,
so
Renell.
from the camp host of this and the lake.
Okay. I'll go in and talk to him.
Okay. Thanks.
Which supervisor told you to call 911?
Laura Blunt,
And did she inform you for what legal reason?
I felt threatened by you, and I wasn't going to have you on site because of the potential of an issue. And being threatened, I didn't want to have to deal with you.
Wow. But you did.
Being
But you
threatened.
told. But you
And
told
which
that.
threats were those that you were worried about?
Your aggression.
And what is aggression and related to a threat? Can you articulate that a little better for us, please?
When you come running at me with your hands clenched and your fist cussing and being very vulgar, I feel threatened.
That's specific to Mr. Myers or in general?
In what you were doing.
I'm asking you in general.
In general, yes.
Exactly. That's all it is, man.
Your aggression was threatening.
In which crime or state, what state or federal law or CFR do you believe this aggressive behavior violated?
I couldn't tell you. That's not a question for me to answer.
So you just called 911 and then it's up to them to decide if any laws were broken?
You heard the question. Oh, I got that.
Yeah, I guess so. I called 911 because I felt threatened.
Because I felt.
And I wanted you off the property.
I want you off the property. Feelings.
And your supervisor gave you the okay for that?
Yes.
No, they didn't. You didn't
Are
talk.
you familiar with
You said you talked to them the next day.
traditional public forum?
No.
Do you know what a First Amendment liberty interest is?
You know you don't.
No.
You know.
Do you know the federal code or statute for trespassing on federal land?
Yeah, man. It's a wrap.
Do you know the code for being aggressive on federal land?
No.
Can you point to any specific rule that you're aware of that you are responsible for enforcing at Hope Valley Campground that you believe Mr. Myers violated?
Wow. So why did
But you just
him?
called and said you want him gone.
It's crazy, man. Unbelievable.
Your dog was not on a leash that ran at me, and then you came at me in a threatening manner. That is grounds for me to contact 911 and have you removed.
Oh my goodness. He didn't break no law.
Is Mr. Myers charged for any of those behaviors?
I don't know.
Did you give a statement about any of those behaviors?
A statement for what?
Any of the behaviors he just said it.
You just said that Mr. Myers threatened you and all this. So are you pressing charges?
All right.
No.
Wow, man. Wow.
Do you know if there's an investigation?
I don't know.
Do you know the penalty for a dog being off the leash?
No,
Is there a penalty for a dog being off the leash?
I don't know.
You don't know.
You just know that Mr. Myers' dog not being on a leash was a violation?
To the rules that were set in the campground, yes.
What are the rules? You say you don't know?
And those rules obey federal laws. All visitors and users of the National Forest are subject to federal regulations.
Dang, I messed up on that one.
The point of conduct listed above are included through enforceable through federal regulations. All of the regulations are published in Title VI of the Code of Federal Regulations and are on file at all Forest Service and District Ranger offices. Violations of orders and regulations are subject to punishment by a fine or imprisonment under 16 U.S.C. 551. Does that sound right to you?
Okay.
What is wrong with you?
So let's pull up those laws that you refer to.
No, man. Doug did not know what he put himself into, man. He was not ready for this. He just thought he was gonna call the police. They was gonna make him leave, and it was gonna be over.
For us.
That's what he thought was gonna happen.
Let's see. Do this.
They feel like they can use police as their guard dogs, even if to enforce their feelings, and not what law enforcement is there to do: protect and serve and uphold the Constitution. But too often they become
Can you see that?
enforcement. Yeah, you see it.
Can you see that?
Okay.
I can see it. Can you see, Mr. Downey?
Yes.
Yeah, I see Code of Federal Regulations.
What you say?
Are these the ones that apply at Hopewell Lake Campground?
I guess. I don't know.
Are you responsible for enforcing these rules at Hopewell Lake Campground?
Yeah.
No.
So you're not responsible for enforcing whether Mr. Myers' dog is off a leash or not?
I can inform them that the requirement is that they be on a leash.
And then what else can you do?
I can contact 911 if it determines to be that extreme and have them come deal with it.
Is
Just
the
as I
dog
did.
on a leash a violation of state law?
He is a host.
I don't know.
So when
That's
you call them for the dog off the leash, are you alleging somebody was committing a crime?
I'm not.
So what would be the necessary reason for you to call 911 if there's no law against something and you have no authority to enforce a law, even if there was one?
There are rules that
I
say
said law. A rule is not a law.
Okay. Well, I'm not a law enforcement, so I can't enforce it.
Right.
But you stated that you have the authority to enforce trespassing against Mr. Myers.
I did.
You did what?
I did not say I had the authority to do that, but I asked them to remove you from the property.
Under what authority? If you don't have if you're not law enforcement,
As the campground host and manager of the site,
You're not the manager.
and those authorities are vested to you under what?
managing the site.
Under what authority? What authority are you authorized
Yeah,
to
he was
have
in-
someone removed for trespassing from Hopewell Lake Campground?
For it could be many different things, but in this case, it was you being threatening and being very aggressive in your means and manners.
So is that trespassing or is that disorderly conduct?
I don't know. I don't make that determination.
You don't make the determination, but you called the police alleging somebody was violating the law, right?
I didn't say you were violating the law
So why would he be
So
trapped?
why would Mr. Myers need to leave Hopewell Lake Campground if he wasn't violating the law?
because you were being aggressive and
He gonna stick with this.
uh,
He gonna stick with this.
threatening to me,
Look.
and I didn't want to deal with it.
Some other stuff.
Is that illegal?
It could be.
It could.
I'm asking you if that was.
Yes or no?
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
So you're testifying that you were allowed to have Mr. Myers removed for being aggressive,
Yeah.
which is not even a violation of any law. That's what you're saying?
I contacted the police because I was threatened, and you were being very aggressive and very vulgar.
Right, Ellis.
Which law gave you the authority to
Y'all, as y'all can see, this was insane. I just couldn't believe. But this is when I knew like Lane was on a different level, and I had to get this story out there, man. It was just crazy to me the way he was handling himself in this deposition. Within itself, that takes a lot, because to be dealing with somebody who you know is lying, it's so frustrating. I don't know how he was able to do this, and I don't know how he was able to do this deposition and do it so well with so many things, with so many factors that went into this. It's crazy. And he's facing charges right now, which is insane. He's still facing charges.
you tell Officer Moreno to have Mr. Myers needed to be removed? Which law?
I don't know what law.
Did you tell Mr. Moreno that you wanted Mr. Myers removed?
Yes.
Did you tell Mr. Myers that you spoke to your supervisor about Mr. Myers being removed?
Did I talk to Mr. Myers about Mr.
Or
Myers?
did you tell Moreno that you spoke to your supervisor and that
Yeah.
person, you did? Did that person give you a law that cites Mr. Myers could be arrested for trespassing for being aggressive?
No.
Did you attempt to give the appearance of authority to Officer Moreno?
Oh, what? Let's play the.
other than being the host and the manager of the site.
That's authority.
Does the host or the manager of the site give you the authority to issue trespassing warnings against guests?
I did not issue trespass
Yes
warnings.
or no?
I communicated what was
No.
going on, and I wanted you
Yes
left
or no?
out of the facility.
Yes.
And
Under what
that-
authority? What authority gave you the right? What authority authorized you to tell Moreno you wanted Mr. Myers removed? What authority were you acting on?
So are we just going to go in circles with this again?
Not a circle. I hate when they say that.
What authority were you acting on when you informed
Freaking
Officer Moreno you wanted Mr. Myers removed?
I was the host and the manager of the site.
Do you have somewhere you can point to that lists all the powers of the host and manager of the site?
No,
How were you informed, or how do you verify what your powers and authority is as the camp host at Hopewell Lake Campground?
we discussed it in meetings. I contacted my supervisor. They said contact 911 and have you removed. I did what I was told.
Oh, now you
So
did.
you were just following orders.
Now you just
Correct.
Whatever. Whatever.
Were the orders you received based on your statements to your supervisor?
Yes,
Yeah. Stop trying to get away from it.
Did anybody else contact your supervisor?
not that I'm aware of.
Did your supervisor speak to Mr. Myers prior to being arrested?
No.
Did your supervisor tell you under which authority you are allowed to have Mr. Myers leave?
No.
Are you aware of the 14th Amendment?
You know you're not.
I know there's a 14th Amendment.
Do you know what it says?
No.
Do you know what the First Amendment is?
Freedom of speech.
And what is the type of speech that is protected by the First Amendment?
It's not just freedom of speech. There's 5 elements to the First Amendment.
I don't know.
The free kind.
So you just know there's speech, but you don't know which speech?
No.
So are you familiar with unprotected speech?
No.
Are you familiar with true threats?
No.
Terrible, man.
Are you aware that Hopewell Lake Campground is designated a traditional public forum for First Amendment purposes by the United States Forest Service?
No.
Are you aware that speakers in traditional public forums receive the highest protections on their speech?
No.
Can you tell me the only speech that Mr. Myers or anybody, what is the only speech that Mr. Myers is not allowed to use in a traditional public forum?
No.
No what?
I don't know.
So you're not familiar with what speech
You don't.
you can and cannot use in a traditional public forum?
Doesn't even care, man.
No.
Help him out.
Did Mr. Myers make any verbal threats to you?
See the hate,
No.
violent speech.
Did Mr. Myers
Like,
incite
like actual threatening. Like I'm gonna come.
a bomb threat?
No.
Did Mr. Myers scream fire in a movie theater?
No.
So your testimony is Mr. Myers used protected speech.
Doug is trying to dodge everything.
I don't know.
Get to the side.
Those 3 things are unprotected.
Dodge it, Doug. You can't dodge
Is that a
it.
statement or a question?
I feel you. I'll move on. And okay, so are you familiar with the due process clause?
Yes,
Are you
true.
familiar with the equal protection clause?
No.
Are you aware of what an individual's protected liberty interests are?
No.
Are you aware of the difference between a designated public forum and a non-public forum?
No.
Have you been trained in any way about the protections afforded to an individual under the Constitution at Hopewell Lake Campground?
No.
Did any of the other campers make statements prior to Mr. Myers being arrested?
No.
So no campers complained, no other campers, what about since then? Have any other campers complained about Mr. Myers' behavior?
No, nobody knows.
No what?
No.
So as far as we stand here, your testimony is the only testimony to support your side of the story, or your testimony, you know? You have
Yes.
nobody to corroborate any of this?
No.
Yes.
Yes, what? You do have people or not?
No, I answered your question.
You see this? Come
That
on,
is my
Doug.
statement.
Come on, Doug. Come on, Doug. Come on, Doug. What are you talking about? Just answer the
What's
question.
a reasonable amount of time for one individual to pack up 2 tents, a kitchen, and 2 bikes into the back of a pickup truck?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
So you believe it in 15?
Y'all, man, this was pissing me off. The way that Doug was, I don't know how Lane was able to continue this deposition and conduct himself professionally, because this was pissing me off. And I'm not even in the situation.
15 minutes, somebody can take down 2 tents
Bro.
and load up their kitchen and 2 bikes into the back of a truck,
In a camper, and I know it takes longer
Yeah.
than 15 minutes.
and that is based on what?
Just what I see on a regular basis. And
You don't see no.
I can upload my 5th wheel trailer and be ready to move within 30 minutes. So
So you can upload your 5th wheel
What?
within 30 minutes, but what does that got to do with what Mr. Myers asked you?
I'm giving you an example.
Of what? something totally
Does a
separate.
fifth wheel have to be taken down and rolled up and placed in a bag?
I think you can tear down 2 tents, load up your kitchen into a backward pickup truck in 15 minutes.
That's his answer. That's his answer.
And
As crazy as it is.
and your
That's my-
expectation was that Mr. Myers needed to move within 15
Wait.
minutes?
No, I had gave you over an hour or over 45 minutes to do it.
And when you came back the second time, that was you coming to enforce what rule?
Just advised that you needed to move.
Had you previously advised Mr. Myers that he needed to move?
Yes.
What was the perceived benefit of coming and tell Mr. Myers again?
To have you move.
When he was already moving. Move faster.
So the perceived benefit of coming back to Mr. Myers' campsite and talking about them moving again for the second time, walking past the beware dogs sign, putting yourself in potential harm, was to tell Mr. Myers he needed to move again?
All that stuff.
To remind you that you needed to move.
Were you informed that Mr. Myers was in need of reminder?
You hadn't moved, so I was going to remind you.
In the time after you spoke to Mr. Myers the first time at the campsite and the second time, did you speak to the individual who reserved the campsite?
No.
So you cannot test.
If you catch the stream later, or when I post the video, make sure that you follow Lane Myers, because this is insane. I couldn't believe it. I'm so glad I pushed this story, because come on now, this needs to be out there. Who else would be able to conduct a deposition like this that has been in a situation like this? Was insane to me. I couldn't believe that Lane didn't have at least 100,000 subscribers, which I'm sure that's where he's gonna be eventually, because it's insane what's going on with him. And this is still happening. He's still facing those charges, which is, it's just terrible, man. Doug has been lying this whole entire deposition, and it's not even close to being over yet.
Testify if Mr. Myers and that individual agreed that he was in no rush?
No.
Is it possible that Mr. Myers spoke to that gentleman in the blue Chevy truck?
It's possible because you've already told me that you did.
Oh, now you're listening. So he do hear the questions. He know what he's being asked. He just don't want to answer the questions. You see, he listening.
Why was Mr. Hendricks required to leave?
He kind of dumb, but
She was accompanied with you.
Is that a violation of any of the rules of the campground?
No,
Yeah.
Is guilt by association a crime in New Mexico?
why you laughing, Doug?
I don't know.
Is guilt by association a crime under federal law?
I don't know.
Which camp rule did Ms. Hendricks violate?
She didn't,
So why was she forced to leave?
because she was with you in the vehicle.
Wow.
And if she would have stayed, you would have stayed. And I didn't want you there because your aggression and your threatening of me. I just didn't want you in the
Not
campground.
working, Doug.
Did Ms. Hendricks have a First Amendment right to be at Hopewell Lake Campground?
I don't know.
That's not.
Did Ms. Hendricks receive due process prior to being told to leave?
I don't know.
Did you give Ms. Hendricks due process prior to making her leave?
I didn't make her leave.
Who did?
The police officer.
Was it under your direction?
Now you're trying to throw it off on the police officer.
Most likely, it was tied in with you. Yep.
There you go. Yes.
So she was required to leave because she was with me.
Go on and say it, Doug.
Did Ms. Hendricks attempt to use her America the Beautiful pass?
Never. I do not recall ever seeing one.
Did you tell Ms. Hendricks that that pass is not valid here?
I do not recall ever seeing one.
What did Mr. Myers come up to your truck and say when you told Ms. Hendricks her America the Beautiful pass was not valid?
And it's the host,
I don't recall.
bro.
All right, we'll play the video.
Man, unbelievable. You thought Marino was bad. The host is just as bad. Y'all say what's up to Deposition, man. This is a public service.
You want Joe possibly on
Man. So he's been catching them in all type of lies, man. All type of lies. He won't answer questions.
Monday, possibly. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not gonna search. I'm not gonna search his phone. So,
Mr. Myers, you're still sharing the some statutes, so we're not seeing the video yet.
My bad. I feel you. I gotta,
leave at any point.
Yeah, man.
I gotta like switch the screen. Share. Hold on 1 second.
Doug is
All
getting
right, share.
torn apart. He's still acting like, what he thought was going to happen is police show up, remove him, and then nothing else. He doesn't have to worry about it ever again. Yeah. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer.
So, did you tell me that any?
He got 4 charges.
Mr. Downey, why did you apologize to Mr. Moreno there?
Do what?
Why did you apologize to Officer Moreno right there?
Officer Moreno. Where did I apologize to him at?
You ain't see
Can
it?
you see the video? All
I see a screen, yeah.
right, listen.
You called an attorney?
I can't believe Doug, man.
Excuse me? No, that's the video. That's me in the back seat telling Moreno that I am an attorney. And so is my wife for the federal government.
Oh, look at. Oh my goodness. He felt,
We know our rights. Here we go.
oh my goodness. That hurt Doug. Doug felt that one.
All right, right there. You just stated, sorry to put you into that,
No.
Officer Moreno. What was that? What were you apologizing for?
For him having to get into it with you and get hurt.
Isn't that why you called him though?
One doesn't have the thing to do with the other.
What's up, Bobby?
You called Mr. Moreno, and when he spoke to you, when he arrived at the campsite, you instructed him you wanted me removed.
Appreciate it.
Did you say I want him removed as long as you don't get in danger or whatever you're trying to insinuate here?
No.
You
I'm
told
just-
him you wanted your authority enforced. Is that correct?
Exactly.
I'm sorry?
You told Officer Moreno that you wanted your authority enforced.
Correct.
So what are you apologizing for?
Go play with those kids.
That he got injured.
Did he get injured?
I assume so.
Based on what?
Officer Lee saying he got a bloody nose.
Is it possible he gave himself a bloody nose?
I don't know.
So you were just apologizing out of the kindness of your heart.
I was being kind. Yep.
Okay, let's go back to the video.
So, did you tell me at any point? Yes, you did. Okay, so let's just to reiterate.
That's a lie right there.
Kind of just tell me everything again because I'm a little. Yeah, you have one.
Was your dog restrained in this video?
Yeah. So when he took that site that he wasn't,
Which site was it? 21.
and I told him he couldn't be there because it's already rented.
Okay, make sure that dog is because that's.
Is the dog on a leash?
He's in the trailer.
So is he restrained in the trailer or is he on a leash?
He's restrained within the trailer.
So there are methods of restraint other than a leash?
Yes.
Dang. I got an answer. Dang, he keeps catching me. He keeps catching me.
It was already rented out.
Sounds like that dog is barking aggressively.
And Moreno is so scary that he was about to shoot Doug's dog, which is, come on, like. And the thing is, Doug's dog was being more aggressive than Lane's dogs.
I'm just doing with dogs.
And they were leaving the 6th. I said, back up and move. And then he didn't do anything, and I seen him get on his bike and take off. So I just came back over here for a while, and then I went back over.
Did Mr. Myers mention anything about his bike prior to you seeing him leave on his bike?
Not that I recall.
So Mr. Myers didn't say that if you want me to hurry up, I'm gonna have to go catch up to my girlfriend on the Continental Divide Trail because she just went on a day hike.
I didn't.
But I told you that she was on the hike, right?
You said she was on a hike.
So did I just say she's on a hike, or did I say that my wife's on a hike and it's not gonna be super quick and I need to wait till she get back to fully pack this up so we can see where we're gonna move to?
That's very.
I don't recall.
Oh, you don't remember?
You only recall me telling you that my wife was on a hike.
So you don't listen.
That's all I recall.
Where's your memory, man? Where's your memory, Doug? You can't remember.
Did you just say that my dog attacked you?
I'm sorry?
Did you just state on camera right there that my dog attacked you?
It came at me like it was going to attack me, yes. Just as I've said several times.
So verbally, we heard the dog attacked me, but you're saying that, so you're saying audibly, the audible testimony available to all our ears is not consistent with what you actually meant?
As I've said before, the dog come running
Oh,
at
my
me.
goodness.
I felt like it was going to attack me, and I pulled my spray.
All right, let's back this up a second. We're gonna see if you said it. You felt like it was gonna attack you or it attacked you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here
Doug.
we go.
Yeah, Doug.
I told them it was already rented out. No, it ain't. I took it off the post and showed them it was they checked in this morning and they were leaving the 6th. I said, pack up and move. And then he didn't do anything, and I seen him get on his bike and take off. So I just came back over here for a while, and then I went back over and I pulled over, and that's when his dog came running out at me and attacked me. I pulled my spray.
He didn't say.
And,
He said he attacked him.
The dog attacked you and you pulled out your spray.
Uh-oh.
It's-
Uh-oh.
yes,
That's what you said.
it's a figure of speech.
No.
Do you feel like you should use figures of speech when you're giving testimony to law enforcement?
Doug.
Or do you feel like you should tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
No, Doug.
That was the truth. The dog come running at me like it was going to attack me, and I pulled out my spray.
Doug, no.
Is that what you told Officer
Doug.
Moreno, though?
It's, it's a word of semantics.
What's up, Mitch?
Do you feel giving testimony in a police investigation is semantics?
I've gave the same statement here, I don't know how many times during this last 2 hours. That
When
the
this
dog
video started, you said that the dog attacked you.
come running at me, acting like I was going to be attacked, and I pulled the spray. So that's the same thing I've said for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's
to
That's what
you.
you said today. That's what you're saying now, right?
That's what you say. That's what I've said the whole time.
But I just showed you a video of something different. So are you saying that that video is not you?
No,
It's
Doug.
a figure of speech.
No, Doug.
Do you feel somebody should be arrested for figures of speech?
That's not my decision.
Is it your decision to decide whether to tell the truth or not?
I've been telling the truth the whole time.
No way.
I'm just asking you if it's your decision. I didn't ask you if you were telling the truth or not. I'm asking you, are you the one who decides to tell the truth or not?
Can't even answer the
It
right
is
way.
my policy to be honest and tell the truth.
So you feel like by telling the police officer on 3 occasions that the dog attacked you, as
I
well
did.
as initially, you
I did
feel
not.
that
Crazy.
that was being honest?
I didn't say that.
What do you mean?
You
The
didn't say
dog at me, acting like it was going to attack me,
That's not what you said,
and
Doug.
I pulled my
That's
sword.
not what you said, Doug.
That's what you're saying today, Mr. Downey, on 9/12.
That's what I said before too.
That's
Did you not
that's
hear
what you said. You said that the dog acted like it was going to attack you.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
let's play that again then.
Let's play it again, Doug.
No, I know what that
You
is.
asked your question. Let's
No,
move
let's
on.
play that again,
You've asked your
Doug.
question. Move on.
Let's play it again, Doug.
Maybe I'm confused.
Yeah, maybe.
Then you can watch it on your own time. We're getting into 2 hours, and you're covering the same thing.
No, no, Kent.
I just am trying to clarify. I want Mr. Downey to be able to explain why he said one thing but meant another, involving a law enforcement investigation.
And I think you did that very thoroughly.
Well,
I appreciate that. I know, I respect you. All right, so let's, yeah, like you said, I only got a few. We'll get through this real quick, okay? Because I'm not gonna sit here and beat
I don't
about
like that, Kent.
it.
Let him play it again.
Here we go. Did Miss Hendricks attempt to pay you for the campsite?
No,
You're lying.
Did she come up to the car?
I don't trust nothing.
she did. She ran up from the campsite.
Man, the way that Kent was trying to protect Doug is insane. And this whole entire situation is crazy. I can't believe that Lane was able to conduct himself professionally and was able to successfully do this deposition, man. Just think how much it actually takes to do this and be involved in it is crazy. So I definitely needed to push this story out, and y'all need to see Lane's story. I just need to push this out because come on. How ridiculous is this? Like, come on. And y'all gotta know this happened almost 2 years ago. If not 2 years ago.
18 up to the road to talk to me.
And what did she tell you?
I don't recall everything exactly.
Here, let's play the video.
Right.
I hope you recall here. Let's see.
What? I think his charges were dropped. Yeah, I think they were dropped. He only had 3 of the charges stuck, and I think they were dropped. But he was originally charged with 4, I think, or something like that. We're gonna see though. I'm still following up with this.
All right. So remember, I just asked you what Miss Hendricks said to you when she came up to your car.
It's crazy, man.
And I told you I don't know.
I'm going to show you what you told
He's still fighting these charges.
Mr. Marino. She said. Here you go.
That's between you and told me I'm going to learn about the First Amendment and all these amendments, and I just don't do that anymore.
Okay. Did he pay for the night?
No, he hasn't paid nothing. And I asked him, I said, you need to leave.
Yeah,
With your aggression, it's not going to work out here. Okay. And his girlfriend's crying. Well, I can stay because I wasn't part of that. But, that's between you and
Yeah.
but he needs to leave.
What was he wearing?
He's wearing a T-shirt that says public landowner and shorts.
Okay.
He's at site 18.
So let me just reiterate what you told me. So
Let's get to the part where
This is
you said.
Nick's, I don't know.
Yeah, both of them. I'm guessing both of
I
them.
wanted, or I will. So cardboard stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Let me go back to that other video. I apologize. That at the conclusion of that other video in front of your camper is when you say that she came up to the car and I came up and told you that you're going to learn about your rights today,
Yeah, he's thorough. Like,
which you are.
I don't know if he's actively.
This is the entire arrest. Let's go to this one, leaving camp. Right here, back to in front of your dog.
He was an attorney. He probably got tight in the neck.
And they were leaving the 6th. I said, pack up and move. And then
Here we go.
he didn't do anything, and I seen him get on his bike and take off.
What'd he say?
So I just came back over here for a while, and then I went back over, and I pulled over.
Listen up.
That's when his dog came running out at me and attacked me. I pulled
Did he
my
what?
spray, and
His dog ran over and attacked him. But he keeps saying, oh, I didn't say that. Yes, you did, Doug. We heard you. You said the dog attacked you, but the dog obviously didn't attack you. And then you said, oh, I didn't say that. It was a figure of speech. What do you mean? Like, come on. Like, that's why I know for sure Lane is gonna win this lawsuit. I can't believe he was even charged. They put 4 charges on him for absolutely nothing. And all Doug did was lie.
The dog ran out and did.
took it back, and he jumped in my face, telling me to get the
Now
fuck out of
you
there.
jumped in your
That's his property. And
Lie after lie after
I
lie.
don't have to leave. And I said, you don't need to be vulgar, and you need to back up and get out. And then I went around to check in some other campers.
Why you
And they
picking
were
on
there
people
in 18. And she come over. I was talking to some other camper. She came over when I got the truck and goes, well, I'm going to stay here. And I said, no, y'all need to pack up and leave because his
How many
aggression
people here from
towards
Mexico
me
get this
is
one?
unacceptable, and y'all need to pack up and leave. And he goes, well, then he come barging over. He come running over. Well, you're going to learn the amendments this
Crazy.
weekend, and talking all kinds of crap, you know.
So you did tell me you need to leave. Okay, how long ago was?
Uh,
Yeah, man.
right before I called you guys, I guess. Let's see.
Okay.
About 1:45 maybe. And then I called you guys, and you were here, 40 minutes. So,
He said that's a figure of speech.
but I told him he needed to
That's a
leave.
figure of speech.
His
When
aggression.
you're talking to law enforcement, it's a figure of speech. Somebody got 4.
Okay, all right, no, that's all I need.
So at that moment, you told Officer Moreno that she came up to your car and said that she's going to stay here, right?
Okay.
Did she come up to you and say, here's my money, we're staying right here, we're not going anywhere?
No.
So why did you call the police then?
You're being aggressive. You're being aggressive.
I'm sorry.
You said that you did not call the police until after the encounter involving the pepper spray. And that you came around after we moved to Site 18, you drove around in your truck, and my wife approached your truck as you were passing Site 18 and came up to you with her America the Beautiful pass and the money and said, we're staying right here. You can take our money or we're not, it doesn't matter, we're not leaving.
No, that's I had already contacted 911,
Okay.
and when she came up there, I never seen a pass, and she never handed me any money.
Was I
To pay
recording
for
with myself? Was I recording with my cell phone?
What
Did you testify that I came up to you and said that you're going to learn about my amendment, your amendments this week?
You and
You did.
What were you doing at that time as I came up to you?
I was driving away
From what?
from talking to the young lady.
The young lady being my wife?
If that's your wife, yes.
Is it the young lady you told who had to leave because she was with me?
If she was with you, yes.
I'm asking you, did the young lady that you referred to there on the body cam, is that the same young lady that was with me?
Yes.
So the young lady, as you refer to her, came up to your truck and you told her she had to leave. And after you told her she had to leave, Mr. Myers came up to your truck?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He said I was going to learn the amendments and the First Amendment and something else and call law enforcement. And I said I had already did, and I drove off.
So Mr. Myers told you, go ahead, call law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
Did he indicate why he was comfortable with you calling law enforcement?
He did.
He didn't refer.
Y'all just look at Doug right now. Come on, just look at him.
Did you hear him say, it's my First Amendment protected liberty interest to be here?
Nope.
You just heard him say, it's my amendment?
I never heard him say it was my amendment. He said you stated
He looked so guilty.
you were going to teach me the amendments.
Which amendments?
I don't know. The First Amendment, I don't know.
No.
You said you were going to teach me the amendments.
Are you receptive to learning about the amendments?
I am not from you.
Are you aware that you are a camp host on a traditional public forum?
He shouldn't have to teach you. You should already know the amendment, man. Come on.
I feel like you asked this question probably about an hour and 30 minutes ago. Are we covering any new ground?
And
Was he
Doug
saying,
is-
I heard you, Mr. Walker. I
Doug
respect
is
that.
crazy, man.
Was he saying something at the same time?
he's-
Yeah, we keep
Mister.
questions over and over.
Okay.
oh man, Doug is unbelievable, man. This is crazy.
You're sharing your screen and we can see your questions. I don't know if that bothers you or
No,
not.
I feel you. I respect that, sir, for sure. Even though I'd mail them to you right now. But since this incident, has anybody came and explained to you if Mr. Myers is allowed to be at Hopewell Lake Campground or not?
No, other than the letter that was sent and stating that you are not allowed on any of the campgrounds that are managed by Recreation Resource Management.
And what letter was that?
The one Tom Raddick sent to you.
Just admit you wrong,
Tom
man.
Sadek?
Dang.
Yeah.
Why so hard for people to just say, hey,
Well, you
I
should
was wrong,
mention that.
man. I messed up that time.
We're gonna read that.
But now you in some shit because you done got charges put on somebody.
So you believe that Mr. Myers was sent a letter saying he can't enter which specific property?
Still don't want to learn.
Campgrounds managed by Recreation Resource Management of America.
When is the last time you spoke to Mr. Zadek?
It's been a while.
Did Mr. Zadek follow up with you and inform you that the Forest Service would vehemently disagree with you?
It's crazy.
No.
So do you believe that Recreation Resource Management of America has the authority under federal law to revoke someone's First Amendment protected liberty interest to enter a traditional public forum?
That's out of my realm.
Show you face.
So you believe that Mr. Zadek can send someone a letter and that means they're not allowed to enter Hopewell Lake Campground?
Again, that's out of my realm.
So what happens if I show up tomorrow night to camp at Hopewell Lake Campground before my court date?
I'll call 911 and ask them to remove me.
And do you expect that they'll remove me?
For what?
I'd anticipate that
And you would anticipate that based on what?
based on the letter
Which letter?
you're referring to.
Can you provide a copy of it to Mr. Walquist?
I believe you have it.
No, to Mr. Walquist.
I'll have them send it.
You'll have him as in Mr. Zadig send it to Mr. Walquist?
Yes,
Do you believe that letter has any actual?
I don't know. That's beyond my realm.
So you would call 911 in lieu of that letter, but you're not sure if that letter has any authority.
Wow.
Do you clean the toilets at Hope Camp? Zone?
Yeah.
Do you get paid to clean the toilets?
I do.
Do you get paid
What-
by Recreation Resource Management of America?
What does that have to do with this?
Don't worry about that. Just answer the question.
I think the last question was whether or not you get paid by the company, and I keep forgetting the name. Do you get paid by that company?
Recreation
Yes.
Resources? Yes, you get paid for them, by them.
Yes,
Do you collect the camping fees at Hope Campground?
I do.
And who do you turn those into?
The company,
Who specifically at the company?
Laura Blanc.
Does she also maintain the record of everybody that stayed at Hopewell Lake?
Bro, I don't
I believe so.
Is Hopewell Lake Campground open to the public?
Yes,
Are you aware of any no trespassing signs at Hopewell Lake Campground?
Wow.
Are you aware of any federal laws or rules or regulations that cover trespassing on National Forest land?
No.
Are you, so is it possible that there's not trespassing is not a crime on federal land?
I don't know.
Can you confirm that Mr. Myers moved from the initially reserved site to another site?
I'm sorry.
Huh.
Did Mr. Myers move from site 21 to site 18 prior to being arrested?
God, leave, bro.
Yes,
Do you know what Article 2, Section 10 of the New Mexico Constitution is?
no,
Do you believe in the Constitution?
I do.
Do you think the Constitution is important?
The hell you don't
It
believe
is.
the Constitution,
Do you
man.
think people should have civil rights?
They do.
They do what?
They do.
What?
Do you think people should have civil rights?
If,
Yes.
if that ain't
Do you believe if someone has their civil rights violated, the person responsible should be held accountable?
Sure.
Are you familiar with section US 42, Section 1983 of the US Constitution?
No.
What is the penalty for somebody not paying at Hopewell Lake Campground?
I would contact the police and it would be reported as a theft.
Is that and is that a policy that you've been told, or is it? Can you? Because I'm going to pull up the policy, so I'm wondering what policy you're referring to.
I don't know what policy it is, but it would be considered a theft from the government, I'm sure.
Are you sure, or would you rather just say you're not sure?
So I don't know. I don't know the law.
So you don't know the law. Do you know if Mr. Myers broke the law?
When you threaten me and aggressively come after me,
We're talking about not paying, sir.
it's crazy, man.
You allege that Mr. Myers refused to pay.
no, I didn't allege that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Doug.
I didn't allege that.
Yes, you did, Doug.
You
I
did not
asked you.
tell, you did not tell law enforcement? Did you tell
I-
law enforcement?
I
Mr.
asked. Stop. I asked you to leave the campground, and at that point, you were not required to pay.
Oh my goodness, Doug.
Did you tell Officer Moreno that Mr. Myers did not pay?
Yes, because he asked. He asked if you had paid, and I said no.
Okay. Did you say no, he didn't pay because I wouldn't take his money, or no, or did you just say no?
I just said no.
Okay. So here we're gonna look at
Mm.
my screen,
We got some more footage.
and
Doug,
we're gonna look at
Doug,
the penalty for not paying for a campsite.
Doug just gonna
Okay.
take down on everything.
Can you see that?
I don't care if you caught me on video.
Sure.
Yes, we can see it. It looks like you're
Recreation
going through a bunch of
fees.
statutes.
Yep. Recreation fees. Failure to pay a fee is prohibited, notwithstanding
Yes,
18
it does.
U.S.C. 3571 subsection E, the fine is imposed for the first offense of not payment shall not exceed $100.
Doug,
Can you tell me where that says that you're charged with theft?
pay attention, Doug,
I don't know what you're asking.
because you're not paying attention, Doug.
You had answers. Do you need me to clarify what I'm asking?
Bro, this is
What
crazy.
is the question?
Doug,
What is the penalty for not paying for a campsite?
You just read it.
Is that your statement though?
No, that's the code right there that you're reading.
You know, how crazy is this? Imagine having to be on this deposition and conducting it with a situation that happened to you. You know, it's Lane is able to do this almost I'm gonna say flawlessly, and this is what pushed me to get this story out there and get attention to his channel, because come on now, this is absolutely insane. Just think about this, man. How just think about how you feel about this whole situation, and imagine if you had law lawful. Just think if you had information on, what laws he broke, everything. You know what laws you didn't break, and then about everything that happened. Like the way that Lane is able to do this is insane to me.
Okay, I'm asking you what your belief is.
Man, Doug is crazy.
My belief would be theft from the government, which would apply to that code, and you could be charged under that code.
So it's your belief that this code is not the actual code?
That's the code. If that's the code written, that's the code.
This is right off the .gov website.
Okay. So what are you asking?
I asked you what you believe the penalty is for not paying, but you've given that. You said it was not, you believed it was theft. So we'll move on. So here we go. Let's get to, okay. Did you see Mr. Myers engage in fighting?
No.
Did you see Mr. Myers
Like
address any offensive, derisive, annoying communication to another person who was lawfully present when such communication has a direct tendency to cause acts of violence by the person to whom individually the remark is addressed?
Hold on, y'all. Let's talk about Doug's demeanor right now. He is acting like he's not the one that caused all of this mess. He's the reason he's in the situation he's in right now, and he seems very frustrated about it. That he's being questioned about the lies that he's told in the turmoil that he's caused in Lane Myers' life. He's giving off the demeanor like, oh, I'm tired of this. You gotta ask me these questions. You're gonna question you, like, bro, you've been lying. He's showing you videos of you lying. Now you're saying, oh, it's when I said that, it was a figure of speech, and oh, I didn't say that, but you just said that earlier. And bro, this is why I know that we have to record and have an objective record, because we got people like Doug who won't be honest. People just, he won't be honest. He's not gonna tell the truth. Could you imagine if Lane Myers didn't have any other footage or anything? Doug would just be, oh my goodness. People like that, man, it's just gross, man. Gross. Slime.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's admit to doing wrong.
I just read it to you word for word.
Yeah.
You want me to read it again?
You asked me a question.
Yes. Did you observe Mr. Myers using any offensive, derisive, annoying communication to any other person who was lawfully present when such communication has a direct tendency to cause acts of violence by the person to whom individually the remark is addressed?
Are you referring to threatening me and cussing at me?
Bro, threatening.
I'm asking you, did you observe Mr. Myers exhibit any of those behaviors?
If that is intended to mean you were cussing at me and threatening me, yes.
What?
It says that, okay, so did you violently react to Mr. Myers?
No, I didn't.
Did you use any violence?
No.
Then that wouldn't apply. Because my offensive, derisive, annoying communication did not have a tendency to cause any acts of violence by you.
Is that a statement or a question?
He's having trouble, right. Next thing. Did you observe Mr. Myers exhibit or make any statements or other action directed towards inciting or producing imminent lawless action and likely to incite or produce such action?
I don't know.
Did you observe Mr. Myers exhibit or behave in a way that would cause public inconvenience, annoyance, or alarm by making unreasonably loud noise?
No.
Those are the elements of disorderly conduct at Hope LA Campground.
Okay.
Sad.
Thank you.
Sad.
Do you believe you gave any false, fictitious, or fraudulent report or other information to any Forest Service officer engaged in or on account of the performance of their official duties, knowing that such report or other information contains false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or entry?
Look it up.
No.
Look at him. Look at
Did you tell the Forest Service that my dog attacked you?
No, that it ran at me and I pulled my mace to prevent that.
Did you use the words Mr. Myers' dog attacked you?
No.
Now you're lying. You said
You
lie.
did not use the words dog attacked me?
I don't know.
Now you don't.
You literally just watched a video that showed it.
I just, we've gone through this how many times in the last 2.5 hours?
You put yourself in this position, sir. Let's just remain professional.
Yeah.
Can we clarify the question? Because I believe your question was whether or not he told the Forest Service about getting attacked with a dog, whereas the video we watched, I believe that was with
Mr. Walker,
the officer.
Mr. Walker, you are 100% correct. That's why I was so confused why he was confused, referring to his previous statements about Moreno.
So let's ask a clear question.
Thank you. My question is specifically to the Forest Service employees, not your supervisor, not Officer Moreno, not anybody else, Miss Jennifer, or any other Forest Service you spoke to. Did you tell them that my dog attacked you?
No, I've said that the dog came at me, and I pulled my mace to protect myself.
So if the report that was given to me from Miss Jennifer contains the statement that you aver that the dog attacked you, that's incorrect?
It's a matter of interpretation. Attack. If it's running after you, if it's running at you, that could be considered an attack.
No.
So
this is not philosophy, guys, sir. This is a court of law.
It's words.
Words matter. Technicalities matter. Legal definitions go by
I never
words.
the dog attacked me. It came at me like it was attacking me, and I pulled my mace. I've said that over and over and over and over and over.
That don't make it true, Doug.
No, it's not over and over, sir. There seems to be some confusion. This is the first time I asked you if you told anybody employed by the Forest Service if my dog attacked you. We've already went over the situations where you addressed Moreno about the dog attacking you, and you informed me that that's what you said, but that's not what you meant. So I'm referring to the Forest. Miss Jennifer, anybody else? Did you give the figure of speech? Did you use the words? Is it possible that you said his dog attacked me in this to a Forest Service in the statements you gave to a United States Forest Service officer?
We did know this at 1:15. I'm scrolling through the transcript, and you asked him about the statement he gave to Jennifer at 1:16 p.m.
About the
There's
dog?
things about the statement there. So that's over an
About
hour
the dog?
ago.
About the dog?
Let's just ask the question, Mr. Downing, answer it again, and let's move on.
Respect. So to the best of your knowledge, we'll just move on.
Yo,
Are you aware of any
look
code
at
you
the
can
world
point
when you
to
watch yourself up.
on these rules posted at the campground where we could, Mr. Walkowitz and I would be able to view what you believe to be the rule that Mr. Myers broke? Could you point Mr. Walkowitz and I to that rule on the sign that now that you've seen the sign? Because this, what's scrolling in front of you is exactly what's posted at the campground.
Okay, no, I can't.
I'm gonna turn off that screen for a second. Should be close to it. I'm just gonna scroll through. Other than cleaning the toilets, what else do you do at Hopewell Lake Campground?
Take care of the campsites, clean the fire pits, pick up the trash from everybody. Collect
Was
money.
July
at the
1st? Go
lake.
ahead, sorry, go ahead. Was July 1st the first time you ever met Mr. Myers?
Yep.
Excuse me? Was July 1st the first time you ever met Mr. Myers?
If it was July 1st, yes.
To the best of your knowledge, has Mr. Myers ever been kicked out of Hopewell Lake Campground prior?
I wouldn't know that.
Did you attempt to verify that?
No, there's no reason for me to verify that.
Did you know Mr. Myers' name prior to him being arrested?
No.
To the best of your knowledge, has Mr. Myers ever been banned for trespassing on National Forest land?
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Doug is wishing he could disappear right now. But I don't feel bad for Doug because Doug put himself in this situation. Lies after lies after lies, all because you didn't like the way he spoke to you. Come on, man. All this because you didn't like the way he spoke to you.
Is Miss Hendricks allowed to return to Hopewell Lake Campground?
He
I don't know who that is.
probably said, get
The
it
young lady.
out of my face or something.
Oh.
You know, or stop by. I heard you the first time. We're moving.
I'd have to get verification
Why
From
you
who?
coming over here? That's probably what he was doing.
from the Forest Service and Recreation Company.
You would need to get verification that Miss Hendricks is allowed to enter Hopewell Lake Campground.
Man, when he first said that,
As far as I know, if you're coming in with her, I would have to get verification.
Can you do that throughout? Is that something you can do quickly here right now for both of my and Mr. Walkowitz's benefit?
No, I can't. I'm on the phone with you.
So that's something you would need to contact your supervisor about?
Yes.
Have you spoke to John Serrano?
I don't even recall the name.
He's an employee of the Forest Service.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Let me read the statement you claim. While witnessing employee statements vary greatly from yours, my call today was to give you an opportunity to share your side of the story. Since you hung up on me, the chance is now past. When you entered a rented reservation site and were asked to move to one of 3 available sites, a simple "sorry, I will get on it right away" would have been enough. You admit you were given the choice of 3 sites in your statement. We tried in that moment to solve the issue for you. A simple "thank you" and "we will take that site and move on as soon as possible" would have been the end of the situation and the start of your holiday weekend. Your escalation of the situation and aggressive demeanor left our employee no choice but to return to his camper and call 911. This is company protocol for this type of situation. 911 dispatched the state of New Mexico police. The officer interviewed our employee first and then came to speak to you. Long story short, you physically assaulted a law enforcement officer by punching him and breaking his nose. Then he and the backup officer had to wrestle you to the ground, arrest you, and take you to jail.
What?
Post-incident, they informed our employee of the situation, and your family was asked to leave by law enforcement due to your actions, not ours. Thus, the reason you spent 3 days in jail, your aggressive nature, unwillingness to move, and comply with a simple request is the sole problem. Your actions with the state police are yours to own up to also. We will, however, support and help any investigation leading to any charges brought upon you due to your actions that day. After reviewing the situation in its entirety, understanding your propensity for aggressive behavior, and speaking to U.S. Forest Service representatives, I too have a request. Please do not contact, speak to, approach, or enter any RRM of A operated facility nationally. Your name has been sent to our corporate office, permit managers, and infield hosts.
Wow.
If they see you in these facilities or are approached, they have been instructed to call 911 and stay in their RV until law enforcement deals with you. If you wish to communicate with our corporation, your legal counsel may contact me direct. Violations of this request will be seen as harassment and threats to our safety. So that's the letter you believe means I can't come to Hopewell Lake.
Yes, as far as I know.
As far as you know, that's the letter you're referring to that was sent to me.
Correct.
And as far as you know, the Forest Service hasn't followed up with anybody to tell them that that letter is not valid.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of. So tomorrow when I come to Hopewell Lake Campground, what can we expect?
I would ask that you not do that until verification has been done.
Well, you better get to verifying.
Is there a statement or a question?
I'm asking him what's going to happen when I show up tomorrow and exercise my First Amendment rights with a letter from the Forest Service that says I'm allowed to be there.
That's not the purpose of today's interview. Today's interview
feel
is
you,
regarding the criminal case.
I feel you. Is Mr. Myers allowed to enter Hopewell Lake Campground?
I don't know.
You don't know.
So you don't know. All right, Mr. Walquist.
That's it. We're done. Yeah, that's it. All right, thank you, Mr. Downey.
I said you've seen what you need to see. I'm gonna. Are you gonna send me that over again? By email?
Yeah, the same thing I did just from this morning. Yeah. Once my IT person comes back in and helps me. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
If are you gonna call? Is he still here?
Mr. Downey, you go ahead.
Are you calling him? Are you calling him at the hearing?
Not on Thursday, no.
What about Marino?
Yeah, Marino plans on being there.
At the pretrial or because technically you didn't file this case, okay? Marino did. He initiated all this. It was an officer prosecution. The only reason I got you on here now is because I demanded a jury trial.
Fuck it. We're doing it live.
Hold on, y'all. What the heck?
It is about one.
That was the end of it. All right, y'all. So let's talk about it. You know, we got a few minutes left. You know, we've been on here for a minute. Just what are y'all final thoughts on that? Put it in the chat. What's y'all final thoughts? Y'all got any questions for me or? It's crazy. Yeah, man. It's no, cause yeah, man. Doug is another story, man. I don't know what to say about Doug. Same with Marino. They just lie, exaggerate. Doug continued to double down. he continued to double down on it. He would lie, go back. Man, he heard himself on tape, then heard himself on tape. And he figured he realized he can get out of that. So he switched it up and said, oh, that's a figure of speech. Come on, Doug. Come on, Doug. That don't work in court, man. You can't be like, that's a figure. No, that's not how it goes. So what if that's a figure of speech, then whatever threat that you say that Lane Myers used against you could be his figure of speech, right? If it's all just a figure of speech, no, man, it don't work like that. It don't work like that, man. Then he brought up the rules. Doug said he don't know the rules. So then later on he talks about the rules as if he knows the rules. Man. Right. Folks, you're gonna love it, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And you know, if you're not already subscribed to Lane Myers' channel, man, what he did was simply incredible. To be able to question somebody for this long and stay on focus and stay on point, like he did, and not let him get away with certain things, I think was brilliant, man. And then you got Kent, you know, working against him by allowing Doug to not answer the question, but then you don't want him to ask. He wouldn't answer the question, so Lane Myers would ask the question. He would structure the question differently. Yes, it's the same question, but since he seemed like he couldn't answer or didn't want to answer the first time, let me ask this question in this way to see to make it even more clear. You know, and that's why, like, none of the questions that Doug was asking was really confusing. You know, it was pretty, like I said, it's usually pretty yes or no questions. Now, when somebody start asking yes or no questions, and the person who is answering doesn't answer any yes or no, I already know that person is lying or trying to avoid catching themselves up in something. And you got to wonder, well, why are they worried about catching themselves up in something? It's usually because, you know, they've been up to something that wasn't right. Just like Doug here. Oh, you asking the questions, we're going in circles. Same thing the sergeant said at City Hall after they went in circles round and round and round and wouldn't just answer the question. Or like it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. I can't believe that this is real life, man. People really like that. Then you got the system protecting them. You know, you got Marino come out there, guns blazing, putting hands on people, tackling them to the ground, putting them under, locking up, throwing on shackles on them, and throw them in the back of a squad car and throw 4 charges on them, all based on 0 investigation. The word of somebody else. That's it. Didn't even verify the story with the person standing next to him. There was a woman standing next to him. He didn't even ask her, like, hey, ma'am, did you see that happen? No, nothing. Just straight up. Oh, that's what you said, Drew? Okay, let's go. You know, since when does it go like that? Since when? Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And difference he gave to the other attorney was excellent. Exactly. Man. that ain't gonna work in court for Doug. You know, if this goes to court, that none of that BS is gonna work for Doug or Moreno when they get to court. They can do it right now in this pre-trial, whatever. But when they get in court, no, it's not gonna flow because you know you need a reason for putting him in handcuffs and throwing him in jail. You need a reason for that. And based on this 911 call that Doug put in, saying, "Oh, he was threatening and this and I want him gone." You never say he broke the law. You never say he put hands on you. You did say the dog attacked you. Then now you're trying to say the dog never attacked you. It was gonna attack you. It was his figure of speech when that happened. But that's not what you told. That's not what you told Marino when it happened. Also, you told Marino that they didn't try to pay for their space. You tried to throw that. You tried to make it seem like, oh, they didn't want to pay for their space either. So that was another reason. Then we figure out, oh, well, they did try to pay you. And then you're saying, oh, Doug said Lane Myers said all this stuff to him. Then when Lane Myers asked him, well, what was said? You know, what did I say to you? Or, well, then Doug said, well, you didn't really say much other than such. Well, that's not Doug. That's not what you said earlier. So I find it to play all of this in front of a judge, and like this seems like a slam dunk for Lane Myers, like a real slam dunk. I don't see this going any other way, unless the judge is just corrupt and, you know, slow. Exactly, playing games with people's lives. But there's money incentive for the system too. Yep. Yeah, man. Renetta, I'm trying to tell you, he was just like Marino. Exactly. So really, I think Lane Myers got a suit with this park, and he has a suit with the police department. Yeah, Scarecrow. Yeah, I remember as soon as he said that, you know, his energy switched up. He tried to play it off, you know, later. I think, you know, he tried to play it off later and tried to really think about his answers to his questions at that point, but it was too late. You already in the fire, man. You know, we're gonna keep following this up, man. See what's going on. But yeah, it's been a minute. We've been on here for a few hours, so I go ahead and say, you know, head out. And I appreciate y'all for being here with me and, you know, watching this madness, man. This is crazy. Yeah, I catch y'all next time. Like I said, we're gonna be doing this more often. And yeah, AWB, I'm out. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, so when I did this stream, I for one, I didn't know it was gonna be this long or be that long when I did. And I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was just amazing to me. And I'm so glad to see that Lane Myers, his channel grew like it did, because, you know, I still think his channel should grow even more. He should be at least at 100K. That's the least bit, because this was so thorough. Like, it takes a lot to be this thorough, and especially if it's something that you're involved in. Like, it's just amazing to me that, you know, and I can't wait till we watch the Moreno deposition, because that one was insane as well. You see how insane it was with Doug, and both of them lied. Both of them were just absolutely insane. Like, this is crazy. And I can't believe that they tried to dump charges on him. They tried to dump charges on Lane, and they know that those charges aren't backed by anything. He didn't do anything wrong, and they know that. And the fact that Doug would show up and just lie the entire time, this whole deposition, he lied. He was lying for almost 3 hours, which is insane. You know. Yeah. I didn't, you know, I just couldn't believe that. I really wanted Lane to get more attention. I wanted more people to know what was going on with him. That's why it's so great to see it now. You know, I had no idea that it was what I'm not gonna say. I just knew that more people need to see what was going on with Lane Myers, and I needed people to see how intelligent he was and able to handle a situation like this. Could you imagine being in a deposition for 3 hours on something that you're involved in? It's crazy. And knowing that Doug was constantly lying. He lied for 3 hours straight. It was like no truth was in his deposition at all. And there's no way that these lies are going to hold up in court. And it was amazing. It was amazing to me that Kent was trying to really help Doug out. He see that Doug was in a bad position, and he tried to help him out. But Lane saw that and was able to pivot around. He was able to pivot around the BS. And think about how exhausting this is mentally. To be able to do this, and then he had to do the same thing with Moreno, which is crazy. He had to do this. He had to do this twice. Which is, come on. You got to think, would you be able to? Most of us wouldn't be able to do this. I know. I wouldn't be able to do this because I'll be too frustrated, and I wouldn't know how to pivot around certain things to piece it together like it should be pieced together. But Lane was able to do it. Of course you can call people out on their lies and make this go the way you want it to go. But come on, to be able to do it for this long and steadily be on point is insane. It takes a lot to do that. It's not easy at all. But what are y'all thoughts on this right now? Make sure you go follow Lane Myers' channel. And I was just so glad that he got attention to his channel, and it was well deserved. Honestly, it's well deserved. So, does anybody know what's going on with him right now? What are y'all thoughts on this? Y'all talk to me. What are y'all thoughts on this? Like, even after doing that stream, like I need to go and walk on the beach. I did this stream when I was in Thailand, and I did not expect it to. I just didn't know it was going to go this way. And we know how they are. It's perfect change. That's all yeah, we do. Because this was insane. And Doug didn't know that he was gonna run into a person like Lane. You don't just run into people like Lane easily. Like, yeah, you got to be you got to be real unlucky that Lane was the person that you abused pretty much, or you tried to violate. You got to be real unlucky to catch him, because, man, imagine this is the guy that you decide to go crazy on and lie on, and like, no, he gonna call you. He gonna have. You're gonna face accountability. And with most people, they won't be held accountable. But in this sense, you're definitely going to be held accountable, and he's going to make sure that the world knows, which is, yeah, we should. Because come on, look what y'all did to him. Even in this deposition, people can see you, Doug. Like, we can see you. We know you lied this entire deposition. We know you lied during the time where he was arrested and charge was placed on him. We know you're lying then, you're lying now, you're probably gonna lie in the future. We know. So it was just amazing to me that, you know, and I kind of fell back on this, so I didn't know that all this was still going on with Lane. Y'all know I was in the hospital, and you know when that happened, you know I wasn't able to continue to follow up with what was going on in this situation. And I know Foshin, this is a public. That's another channel you should check out. This is a public service. He's another person that he just takes things. The way he goes about doing this, it's the right way in my opinion. You know, so this is public service. You know, I just like thorough people and authentic people and that are doing the right thing. Like I knew that Lane was different than all these other people. Just like Foshin, or this is a public service. I know he's different from a lot of people that you see posting this type of content. You know, even me and myself, y'all know that I was a different type of auditor. I wasn't just doing it for clicks and views. I was actually going out there and just standing up for my rights. And that's when I realized that you got a lot of people trying to violate your rights. And the way that they try to do things is to people who just don't really have the right. They just don't know what's going on. You know, I was one of those people able to, you know, handle myself, you know, well. But most people aren't in a position to do that. You know, I didn't start doing I didn't go and start exercising my rights because I was trying to create a great YouTube channel or anything like that. It was just something that I believed in, and that I was doing because it needed to be done. And y'all see in my videos, in my audit videos, how crazy it was for me. Even me going out there and being polite, it wasn't like I was going out there and creating situations that, you know, for no reason. You obviously can see that I'm going to say I was doing things the right way, the way that you should do it. You just stand up on your rights, like we all should do. And it's crazy once you start exercising your rights, you realize, like, man, it's so many people who don't know that they're being violated like this. Yeah, man. So with that being said, AWB, I'm out. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next stream. I'm actually gonna do another stream, and that stream is gonna be the deposition of Moreno. I did Doug first just because he was the one who made the call. But you're gonna see Moreno do criminal things as well. Moreno was definitely a criminal. Expose everything. Yeah, man. That's all we're in this for. Cause that was my whole thing when I was out there just exercising my rights. I was just trying to expose the lies, pretty much. That's all they do. They lie. And the only way that you can prove that is but you need to have a record. So just like I would go and I would record things. So if somebody said something, I couldn't. It's like if somebody says something and you don't have a record of it, if you go back and you try to hold them accountable, they'll say, "Oh, I never said that," or y'all know how it go. Yeah, but the next one is gonna be Moreno's deposition, and I did this about a year ago. This was when my channel wasn't even really. I think I was definitely under like 10K. I was more like around, I think maybe 5K subscribers and or something like that. It was low. It wasn't really, so I didn't know that his story was gonna so many people were gonna be able to see his story. But I'm glad they did, and uh I'm glad his channel has taken off because it should. Yeah, it was cool. It's been insane. But with that being said, AWB, I'm out. Y'all go follow Lane Myers channel and go follow This is a public service channel, Deposition.